give you a minimum of 100,000 naira monthly for your upkeep. Break up with them. You don't need a liability.
You dey talk rubbish. You dey talk rubbish. You know, you don't dey get bad hair. You never reach 30 years, you don't dey get bad hair. Now because of rubbish wey full your head. How much dey your account? Every time, women leader. So me where be copper now. A month, how much is my salary? This guy, he need. How much is my salary? Why would they give him 100,000? Okay, whoever me, okay, whoever. I'll see you here again next time. Anyway, now but they make this country difficult for men. Anyway, when they give you 100,000, me where be copper. How much federal government they pay me?
Go steal.
Okay. This they pay me. They pay on the Utem beer. All these rubbish motivational speakers. Now when they make this country go they hard for person. Anyway, when they give you another.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, today is going to be an interesting week of the show. I've been experiencing and watching some of the spaces. You know, when you're used to YouTube for a bit, you don't necessarily know what is going on in other platforms. So I've been going around wandering in the wilderness of various different platforms, and what I have found there can be said to be quite problematic for our own people, the way the conversations are being had in so many platforms, especially TikTok. I know, X, as they call it now, is also quite a toxic place, like what we saw from Abike Dabri this week. But some of the underground conversations that are being had are a problem. Last week, I tried to highlight some of these issues. Instead, some were telling me that, oh, you are actually trying to inflame it, not to deal with it. For the life of me, I can't understand that. If something is a problem, you don't say you are trying to inflame it, especially when the context of highlighting it is not to praise it, is not to just read it, is to actually try to find solutions to it. And that was last weekend, Saturday. And midweek, we saw a representative of Nigeria retweeting a very, very derogative tweet about fellow countrymen. And I'm the one fanning it. So I really think that we need to be a bit more self-conscious about these things. And pretending as if something is not happening will not make it go away. It still exists. The idea is object permanence. They call it object permanence. You can't pretend as if reality is not happening. It is. If a car is coming, you pretend as if it's not there. Does it mean it's not there? It is there. So that is the point I was trying to make. But I guess we're going to stumble across that again, because that lady, the point she made, the retweet this week was very, very concerning for a lot of people. And I always want to put this disclaimer that the show is not here to divide people, not even between races, religion, or tribe. This show is a fan and a supporter of human beings and life. We are not here to support one tribe against the other. We are not going to be here to support one religion against the other, not one race against the other. But it doesn't mean you are not going to call out when somebody and any group is doing, at least as a group, are doing something to your people. It doesn't mean you should not call out injustices. It doesn't mean you should stay blind to people targeting your people. You can't stay quiet. Injustice is a threat to justice everywhere, isn't it? Is that not what Martin Luther King said, Jr. said? You can't see injustice anywhere and pretend as if it's a form of justice or it's not your problem. You have to address it. And I really wish our people learn to do that. Today, I witnessed a young lady being taught hatred. A Nigerian young lady being taught hatred by another tribe. And this lady was in tears. And I was just like astounded how the older generation are heartless with some of the things that they do to themselves. And we really have to start calling these things out now. It's not election time yet. If Abike Dabere is retweeting that now, what will happen towards the election? That is concerning. All right. So the show today is going to cover quite a lot of interesting topics. Elon Musk is they think he's going to become a trillionaire. I don't know what the point is. The guy is already stupid rich, and maybe he deserves it, isn't it? Because the guy has got Starlink and he's got SpaceX, he's got Tesla. Who has done that much? So maybe he deserves it. The Tesla car is not exactly bad. It's okay. Nobody can say Starlink is not performing. These are people that build things. Why can't we build our own? Already the Dangote that we have, we are like, oh, how can Dangote control all the oil industry and all the rest? Starlink is not only Elon Musk that owns it all over the world. There is no internet that is present all over the world apart from Starlink. Is that not a monopoly? These people start complaining that they should tear him down. That's another thing Nigerians do again. Oh, the guy is about to take over the whole industry. He's going to destroy the whole. Come on, man. We barely have anything. We don't even have our own refineries, and you're complaining that Dangote is about to become a monopoly. Is that your priority? Your priority is your people getting fuel. Good quality fuel in Nigeria. At least you can hold him accountable in Nigeria. People are complaining for things. It's like sometimes we act as if we are spoiled to an extent, as if you forget that we didn't have any. Just 2-3 years ago, we barely have we don't have any refinery. And now you see one person, now you suddenly, let me have the luxury of not letting him become a monopoly. So all those ones that were buying from overseas, that wasn't monopoly. Eh? When it's Oyibo monopoly, it's okay. When they come and buy our petrol as monopolies, it's okay. But when it's our own person, to build that person up is a problem. And we have this problem everywhere. We can't even let one Nigerian from a different type do well without envying them. We can't. This envy that we have, we need to stop it. This new generation should not be behaving like that. The old generation, yes, you can say they didn't know better. But this new generation, they should know better. They should know better. Some of I almost call it wickedness of our older generation. They poison the mind of the young against for the next generation. That's what they are doing. As if what they are doing is going to get us anywhere. I just feel like we need to take a step back and realize that all this stuff we've done in the past has not gotten us anywhere. Or are we arguing that it has gotten us somewhere? We have to start thinking that, okay, if we put our head together, maybe we can build something. Create more Dangotes. Turn Oyema to a massive airline company. Because it has a blueprint that tends to work already. Expand his operations. Make his flight tickets cheaper. If you have to support him only. Expand Innocent. Create more of them if there are people, any part of the country. Because we're all going to be richer for it. Billionaires, where do you think they spend their money? Think they spend their money overseas? Especially the funny thing about billionaires is that they spend the money in the country that they are making their money most. That's where they spend most of their money. That's capitalist system. I think we are stuck in the mindset of socialist system and capitalist system. Capitalist system is a system where you create large institutions that are extremely powerful and have global reach. And I just learned that Dangote refinery is selling petroleum to America, which is beginning to make it a multinational now. That is what we should be creating. Companies that if the company sneezes, the whole world will shake. If WhatsApp sneezes right now, many of you, your family groups, they will be thrown into disarray. You will not even know how to contact each other half of the time. That is what billionaires and powerful companies can do for capitalist systems. That is what it is. You may choose not to like it, but it is the one that has been governing the world. So let me just play the video because I think I've ranted enough. Oh, it's not even that long. It's 12 minutes. Some people can rant for 30 minutes and they keep going on. You know, people say I rant a lot. This is just 12 minutes ranting I just did just now. So it's not even that long. So, but let me play the videos anyway of the events of the week. Tesla, I think we'll go with Tesla first and see what they are saying about him. You know, the guy, for better or for worse, he is what he is. Let me see if I can get it on now. Welcome, Christian. I can see you there. I see you there, Christian. Let me put it on.
That the Pakistani warhead has gone missing. If you want it back, you're going to have to pay me $1 million. Sorry. $100 billion. Gentlemen.
Ah, the sweet Austin Power days of 1997 when Dr. Evil realized $1 million wasn't enough. And now $100 million is pocket change to the wealthiest in America. Tesla CEO Elon Musk could officially become the first trillionaire with Tesla's newly announced massive 423 million share pay package for the CEO. There is a catch. First, he has to increase Tesla's value to $8.5 trillion. You see that on the right of your screen. It's far beyond the company's current $1 trillion value you see on the left. And look at that in the green. That would be double the most valuable company on the market today, which is NVIDIA. Here's the chair of Tesla's board of directors.
Coming up with a plan that will incent, motivate, have his time, focus and attention on Tesla. We needed to come up with a plan that was super ambitious.
Also, he was part of the plan. He met with the board 10 times leading up to this. So he was part of exactly what this pay package could look like. I think it's important to note it takes 10 years to potentially get to this, which would be a massive milestone of $8.5 trillion in market cap. Also, he has to deliver on a number of other issues, getting deliveries up. They're facing fierce competition, especially in Europe, when it comes to Chinese electric vehicles, BYD. Other issues like robo-taxis. So there's a number of milestones he has to get to. He did tell Bloomberg in May he plans to be there in 5 years. And that's what the board wants to hear. Something else that's really interesting in this pay package, this was the quote directly from the board. Part of the compensation discussion is that he would receive assurances that Musk's involvement with the political sphere would wind down in a timely manner,
Ding, ding,
AKA
ding.
stay out of Washington.
Yeah, and here's an example why the board wants him to stay the hell out of politics. Look at Tesla stock, okay? So starting in January, 423.79, and you can see it literally plummet during the time that Elon Musk was in the White House doing Doge. And then when he left, it started to come back up, but it's still not where it was before the inauguration.
He obviously did incredible damage.
See, this is why now. I think I remember saying it here that Elon Musk is going to find out why billionaires don't get involved in politics. And I think he has lived to find that one out now, the hard way, that you don't mix politics with business, especially the way he was doing it. You can't, you better be doing, if you want to do business and politics, I think you can do it, but you have to do it in a way that brings people together. If you do it in a way that separates people, all right, you're going to have problems as a businessman, because if you are separating people, dividing people, some people will hate you for it. But if you are trying to bring people together, by and large, they are not going to feel strongly against you to be against you as a businessman. But in the case of Tesla, he was coming in as a very divisive figure, and he expects his business to be fine. That was very irresponsible of him, because a lot of people lost money because of his actions. But let me just play the video of El-Rufai facing conspiracy. You see, this is the thing about this government. Whenever you are not on their side, they seem to want to come after you. I'm not in support of. I don't feel sorry for El-Rufai for anything, but whenever you are not on their side, they use the state power operators to try to intimidate you. So it's interesting how they have picked him up now, trying to intimidate him. I don't think you can intimidate someone like El-Rufai anyway. Forget it. If anybody can intimidate that guy, they would have done it a long time ago. Let me just play the video.
Let's, of course, switch gears and go to Kaduna State, where former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai has been summoned by the police authorities to respond to allegations of conspiracy, marking a dramatic turn in ongoing investigations linked to political and administrative misconduct or conduct. Now, the summons adds a new layer of scrutiny to the ex-governor's post office activities and raises questions about the broader implications of political accountability in the country. Now, joining me to speak on this is Malam Salihu Lukman, is a chieftain within the ADC and former All Progressives Congress National Vice Chairman. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, let me first start by asking you the broad one. Malam Nasir El-Rufai recently in an interview made some strong allegations, and of course reactions have been coming back and forth, particularly from the ruling party, which of course some consider divisive. They've said he's pained because
welcome to Guardian Talks. I am Temitayo Olumope. Today we sit with a remarkable voice in the gospel music and also.
Well, first, I think while not holding brief for Malam Nasir, I think it's public knowledge. Even when he was nominated, he didn't ask for it. And during the campaign, 2023 campaign, it was public knowledge that Aswaju made a very firm request to Malam that he wanted him to be in the government. Of course, again, it's public knowledge that it's Swaju himself and the government that decided they don't want him to be in the government. And I don't think that is an issue for Malam Nasir. And I think, knowing Malam Nasir very well, anybody who could read his trajectory in politics know that he's not doing what he's doing out of any vendetta or vengeance. He's doing out of what he's doing out of conviction, believing that the country deserves better, than what we have today. And of course, for many of us who have campaigned for this government, who were part of APC from its formative stage, I will say, sincerely speaking, it's heartbreaking that we have produced what we are seeing today, because it's almost a case of democracy being in reverse gear, racing backward towards where we are coming from, the military dictatorship, authoritarian rule, a situation where, opinions, government is so intolerant to dissenting opinion. And that is completely at variance from what democracy presents, and it's up to us, and I keep making this point all the time. The same way we stood up to the military and insist that we must have democracy, we will stand up, and we are right now standing up to this government. And I just finished watching the case in Lagos, and he has made the case very eloquently. It reflects the fact that either some of us, and I was part of the pro-democracy movement in Nigeria in the 90s, it's either some of us who were part of that process didn't know what we are doing or were not at all committed, which is what is turning out today. And I think those of us who are committed need to really, really stand up and insist that thing which we fought for must be what Nigeria has as its democracy. I think, in summary, this is what I'm going to say.
Thank you. I wanted to cover the Abike Dabiri issue. It's interesting because nobody seems to have covered it under the other platforms. That's like, Arise News, TVC. I'm not sure why they didn't cover it, but I will play this from Aisha Yusuf.
Hello, everyone. On the case of Abike Dabiri, I just think whenever you think she can't go lower, she actually finds a way to dig in and go extremely lower than anything that you're thinking about. And we have here, Abike Dabiri Erewa shares post calling Igbos monkeys. So in a way that I would say, I'm just trying to, it's so let me put it this way. I'm trying to mind my words. I'm just trying to let it not be that, oh, maybe you have something against her or something. I'm just trying to think about it in the terms that sometimes you probably will repost a message without thinking about it. Maybe you just saw something and you just went on and do it. But when your attention is called to, oh, you come back and redo it, or one thing or the other. Those things can actually happen. But in the case of Abike Dabiri, I don't think that's some of the things that happen, because Abike Dabiri has consistently shown these traits in the way she has tweeted, in the way she has said something, especially when it comes to bias against Igbo people. You will see Abike Dabiri has made such things. We've seen situations whereby she has tweeted about is it one time some criminals or drug pushers from a particular country that, oh, is it 60% of them or 100 or something percent of them are from one southeastern state? In the messaging she has done, in the way she has done it, she has always portrayed this. And the latest one is this. I mean, how is this thing that someone has written funny to you in any way? To the so this one is not even you, she's not even reposting. She put laughing emojis on this particular tweet. But before I go on, let me take on people's guide.
So I will leave it there. I don't want to overemphasize the point that was already made. This is a feature that I'm beginning to see more and more in Nigeria recently. You can sense when these things are growing because you are seeing more and more of them occur. That's why I raised the alarm last weekend that something is not right. People are saying nasty things about both sides. You see some Southeasterners saying negative things about the Southwesterners. The Southwesterners, normally they don't do this like online as much, but I was shocked to see the level it had descended to, even up to Ghana. Now, you know what is happening now. Ghanaians don't target Nigerians now, they target Southeasterners now. South Africans don't target all Nigerians now, they specifically target Southeasterners now. The reason, because fellow Nigerians are going there to give them information and say, go after these people. It's like, where does this end? Like I said earlier on in the show, I was on a platform today and watching another elderly Southwest Eastern lady. Oh my God, this young girl, you can tell she was very young because of her voice. She was saying they need to stop these things. The lady was like literally crying and calling the Southeastern lady auntie and everything. Say they need to stop this thing. And this was about, they were talking about Alafin and this. They don't want this sort of things. These are young Nigerians saying the elders should stop it, crying. And that elder refused to stop. When I saw that, I just feel like on the day this country produces nationalists, a lot of people are going to suffer, because those young people will lend their support to them and say, these people have caused us too much trouble. A young lady coming and crying before you, telling you to stop, and you refuse. Not because she is against any side. She just says, stop, these things are not good. And she refused to stop. These are grown people that should know better. The same thing with someone like Abike now. That same young lady will see somebody like Abike and say, you should stop too, but she won't. What has poisoned their mind to this point whereby they can't turn back? Someone like, you know, the lady that comes to this show, Bumi, if she sees this sort of thing, she will be like, stop. It's like the young generation don't want this nonsense, and the older generation are imposing it on them. The poison that they've used to keep the country like this, they want to impose it on them. And this election that is going to be coming up, God help us, if they succeed in doing it and the next generation buy into this, before you undo the damage that has done. The one that happened in the 60s, we are still living through it today. I can't believe she's still even in her job. What El-Rufai did in the statement that he made, this one is worse. Why is this woman still in her job? I don't know. Why can't they just find some other person? She's been there for over, I think 2009 or 11, she's there. She's been there over 10 years. Is there another face for Nigeria? Is only her? Is it only Abike Dabiri that should represent Nigeria? I was even thinking about it. I thought about it. I said someone like even Aisha Yusuf would do a far better job. These are people that have a different way of looking at Nigeria. They see everybody in Nigeria. Aisha Yusuf see Northerners, see Southwesterners, see Southeasterners, she sees them as one. Why can't we appoint people like that to be in charge? Why can't we just do that? Why does everybody have to be so tribalist about everything? But yeah, when they want to gang up against us, they go into their House of Assembly and Senate and they go and have their meeting, and then they will be able to gang up against us. You saw how they were seeing President Tinubu off. Now let me see if I can get the video over so that we can watch that one and carry on. They were seeing the president off again on another trip.
Thank you very much.
Let me see if I can get that one up. Where is that one where he was taking off to this thing, Europe again? It's only two countries that he always goes to. You know, it has to be France and Germany, and this is United Kingdom. It's always those two countries, and our people don't see any problem wrong with anything wrong with that. He keeps traveling there repeatedly. How many countries? How many leaders travel like this? 10 days now. He's not going to be in Nigeria. I would think this man is going to come out for us.
Tinubu has departed Abuja for a working vacation in Europe as part of his annual leave. The presidential airplane took off from the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport at approximately 1:45 this Thursday afternoon. The president was seen off by a delegation including governors of Lagos and Imo states, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, and ministers. The presidential advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, says the vacation will last 10 working days. The president will also spend the period between France and the UK and then return to the country.
Sorry about that, righteous man. I was saying, long time I've not seen you, and I hope Nigeria is treating you this in right. And you saw the news for the week where, you know, from Elon Musk, Tinubu traveling overseas, El-Rufai being arrested. And I thought I should include the Abike Dabiri one because that one was explosive. And I don't know why she's still in her job. So what do you make of the events of the week?
Yeah, forefather, good evening from here. I know we almost share the same time. Yeah, I've not been available for a while. I've been taking care of my health.
I hope you have gotten, I hope it's getting better.
Yeah, I'm far better than the previous 3 months,
Sorry to hear that.
The cost of drugs I usually get at the rate of 10, 12, 13,000 naira. It's now 35,000, 40. And these are drugs that are very, very important that one need to take regularly. It's quite unfortunate. I don't know. I feel so bad that I will live in this kind of present Nigeria, Had it been that things are working out well economically, then you will not feel it. The income is not forthcoming because of the government policies. The value of the currency is just like that of Zimbabwe. During Mugabe time, I don't know whether it has changed now. Virtually everything is gone down. Everything is gone down. It's quite unfortunate. If I had known, I tell you the truth, I wouldn't have dare returned back to this country. I wouldn't have done that. But it's okay. Nigeria is what it is today. We're just, I don't know if I say praying, because the Nigerian people can't act. They are handicapped. I tell you, they are handicapped. Any person wishing or hoping that the poor masses that are suffering in Nigeria today will wake up one day to do something extraordinary, it's not going to happen. That's just a made dream. It's a daydream. It will not happen because the governmental agencies and institutions that are supposed to aid ordinary Nigerians to voice out, to say no to this, they have all been captured. They have all been captured by the government. So we are defenseless as ordinary Nigerians.
I've always thought there's a lot of noise in your background, though. There's a lot of noise in your background. You may want to take care of that. Yeah, that's fine. I've always thought that Nigeria, was an interesting situation, because when you want to get a mobile phone in Nigeria, you have to present your fingerprint, you have to present your passport, you have to present your NI. So all that information taken just to get a mobile phone, I just feel like if you are in that country and the authorities want to abuse their power, you'll be easy to target. And that is what is happening now. Many people are afraid, because if you say one thing, they know where you live. Just by your phone alone, they will be able to track you, at least track your family members, and come for you. You see what I mean? So please go ahead if you want to say something.
Yeah, that what you're saying is the truth. So we can't do anything, absolutely anything, nothing. People are very careful now, even on radio programs that we usually do call in and make comments. Most of us have just decided not to do that again, because, come on, if you are gone, your family suffers, So it's a terrible thing to be in Nigeria this time. Very, very terrible, honest. I never thought that democracy will bring suffering to us more than the military era did. I never believed it. I think I lived in Nigeria during military eras. I experienced it. I was part of those who protested when June 12th was nullified, annoyed. I was part of the protest, but they were not this tough on Nigerian citizens. Look at the Naira value. A bag of cement now is 11,000. So what are we talking about? Is it food items? It's no going away area. And the unfortunate thing is that the money is not forthcoming. And the little that comes has no value. You can't use it. Imagine somebody that needs a certain drug regularly in order to live, and you were buying it before between 10 to 12,000. Now it's 35,000 naira. And you have families you are going to take care of. How do you, and the income is not forthcoming. It is a sorry state that we are in Nigeria, honestly. It's a sorry state. I don't know. That is why people are kind of trusting that there will be divine intervention. It's only God. And you know, those days in this platform, when we talk about maybe God, and they say, no, Nigerians are lazy, we don't want to do something, this, that, it's not God. But with the situation of things now, with the state captured of state institutions and social, even the social, what do you call it, civil rights, civil organization in Nigeria are not forthcoming. They are not talking, because if you talk, you are gone. So just look at the kind of scenario we find ourselves, and we are hearing by January or thereabouts there will be another fuel increase. You know, attached to every 10,000 naira fuel you buy, you pay 500 naira, 5% tax on. Why? Okay, what was the reason of removing the subsidy to start with? The proceed from the subsidy, we've not seen the effect of it in the life of ordinary Nigerians. It's not reflecting in our education.
Do you think, let me just ask, do you think if they told you what the 500 naira from every 10,000 naira petroleum will be doing, would it make you feel better? Let's say they say they were going to pour all that money into healthcare. Would that make you feel better?
No, because they told us from the beginning that if the fuel subsidy is removed, they mentioned the things they are going to do for us. And 2 years, going to 3 years, have gone by. We've not seen 1% of those things that were promised. So why are you taxing people that are already dead financially? Why are you taxing them? Why are you taxing them? The income is not forthcoming, and you are imposing more tax on them. Come on now. Come on now.
Yeah,
There is no justification.
that tax is not what they call progressive taxing. They should have, because that tax, every driver pays that tax and every millionaire pays the same. And that is not fair on the poorer people, because that will hit them more than the richer ones. They should have put tax on wealth, people that own properties, things like that, that they just sit there sitting down. Those are the kind of tax they should go for, because it's going to force them to use that property. They're just sitting on it, not doing anything with that land and that property. It's going to force them to do something with it. But this is our country now, and this government, sometimes some of the policies that they carry out, it just doesn't add up. I understand they need to get more money, because if the government gets more money from the people, if they use it well, they can now say, okay, we are every year, this is the money we can get from the people. They can even use that to get loan. They can use that to invest more in the system. My problem with the way this government operates is that they will take money from me. They don't tell you what they're going to do with it. They don't itemize it like the way they do here. They will tell you specifically what they're going to do with the money that they're taxing you for. But in Nigeria, they don't. They just tell you, oh, we're going to spend it on this. We're going to spend, and then when they spend it, you don't know where they put the money. That is the one. Yeah. That's where I really have issue with them, because go ahead.
Yeah, forefathers see it from this angle. There are some certain degree of subsidy that we enjoy in the Western world. I've visited Angola. I've been there for a while on business trip, and there are some certain subsidy the people of Angola enjoys. I visited Benin Republic. I've been there for a while on business trip. There are some certain subsidy they enjoy. In Nigeria of today, there is no subsidy of any kind that Nigerians enjoy. There is none. And the government is making more money than any government in the history of this country. And yet the masses of this country are not feeling the effect of that money that the government is making. It's not reflecting in any sector or aspect of the Nigerian infrastructure or life. We don't have good road. We don't have good medical system. We don't have electricity. We don't have security. You heard what happened in Edo today. Just today, unknown gunmen brought down 8 and civil defense corps members, gunned down 8 dead, and adopted foreign expatriates that were working. There's no security. People that were traveling in Edo line today, this afternoon, they were kidnapped, and the passengers were taken into captivity. It's online. There's no security. So you won't say, okay, this aspect of the government or the governance is actually reaching out positively in the life of Nigerians. We're not feeling anything that is good coming out. Is it the cost of food? Go to the market. The food is meant for the bourgeoisie, the high-earning Nigerians. Today, when I went out to pick up some vegetables, within 5 minutes, I am telling you, God is a living witness. Not less than 3 young men have walked down to ask me for a help. I'm telling you, within 5 minutes. Just if you stand to buy something, people will queue where you are buying something to ask you to help them. They have not eaten even once in a day. Yeah, people do beg. I know in the Western world, people beg. But the level of begging in Nigeria today had never been what it used to be before. Before you say maybe this, people that are handicapped that begs, once in a while you see these junkers beg. But today is a healthy, well Nigerians that are queuing up.
Righteous man, while you were talking, I just thought about it. I checked the security issue you highlighted, and that's quite accurate. It seems like a terrible, insecurity issue still present. But what I observe in Nigeria is that it appears to be that the younger ones that are educated, especially university educated one in any kind of sciences, technology, maybe not even, they seem to be, what they are doing now is go online. Some of them are on TikTok, some of them are on Instagram, some of them are on YouTube. They want to make money. Some of them are even doing freelance work from this in Nigeria there for foreigners. So is it that this hardship you are describing is hitting mostly the elderly, the older ones that have a traditional way of making money?
When we talk of legitimacy, you should understand, you do a legitimate job and then you earn a legitimate earning that is going to, like me, I don't make money that will make me, when I go to bed to sleep, I will be afraid. So these young ones, this Z generation you are talking about, their upbringing is quite different from the upbringing that we had during the time we are growing up as young ones. What they are seeing today is a flashy life. And who do I blame? I blame the elites in our society. Because what the flashes, what their children, the way and the manner their children live is something that, okay, come on, I can also do it. I can also live that way, if not through a legitimate means, through an illegitimate means. I will achieve that. Did you not hear that a weekend went to abroad and bought a building or a property worth billions of naira? Did you not hear it's online? He didn't deny it.
Wow. Our people.
So it is quite unfortunate state that we're in. Honestly, let me tell you, my mind is that I have just decided to say, God, let your will be done. But to say that the Nigerian masses can do anything, my brother, anyone that is promising you or saying that is just trying to play to the gallery, just to, bring some excitement and hope. That hope is not visible, and that hope will never come. Because we that are in Nigeria here, that are doing legitimate work and trusting that somehow there will be solution. There is no policy of government on ground that aid positively to support what we are doing. There's no policy. The policy is against those that are doing legitimate work, that does not want to get involved into crime. Because for example, where you make, let's say in a month, you make an income of averagely, let's say 2 or 3 million naira, and you spent about 750,000 in buying diesel, and you need to pay maybe 3 workers, and you need to get your vehicles that you use for logistics to service them. By the time you do your end of the month calculation, you may be left out of that 3 million you made, you will be left with maybe about 50,000 naira. Because of the policy of the government.
Yeah, I think I've seen it occur in Nigeria, and there are things that are not always bad. Let's like the tax reform bill, student loans policy that he issued. Like, what I'm the biggest critic of this government in terms of what they've done to the Nigerian economy. That thing that you described, that people have money, but it doesn't go to do anything because the money is not as useful anymore. It's not as powerful as it used to be anymore. It doesn't go far. You can have 100,000 naira. You can't hope to survive on that in Nigeria anymore. If you have even one child a month, you can't. You need far more than that to survive, especially if you are in any of the major capitals. Forget it. So
can I stop you, forefathers? When I finished school, the first salary I earned was 230 naira.
Imagine.
Can I shock you? And I was saving money from that 230 naira. I am telling you. And I was sending money to the village to take care of my elderly parents. Imagine. 230 naira was the first salary I earned in Nigeria.
Wow.
And I was saving. At the end of the month, I will have about 60 naira or 70 naira saved.
You can't buy corn without now. You can't buy corn without even roadside corn.
You can't.
You can't even try it. Not even. If you show that money to any doing roadside corn, they will be upset with you. Okada from here to there is 500 naira now. Welcome, this is Maska. Let me bring Maska in. So, Maska, you saw the headlines in terms of the various events of the week. Oh, look at that. He's very busy. You see, he's one of those Nigerians very, very busy people. So, but I will let you finish. Have you finished what you're doing?
Hello, sir.
Oh, look at that. He's answering to another boss. I didn't know Maska had a boss. I didn't know Maska had a boss at all. Hello, sir. So, but see, the healthcare system in Nigeria, they have this health insurance in Nigeria. But how does it work? Do they not support people that are ill? Don't you have it?
Yeah, if you listen to news today, there is one disease that are broken out in Adamawa. They call it flesh eater. It will start like a pause. Before you know it, it begins to generate to the other part of the body, and the flesh will be falling apart. Check it on news. It's on news. I watch it on Arise News this night. You know, and they said the Nigerian disease and whatever control, they are scrambling. They don't have an answer to it. They are scrambling because the Center for Disease Control and Research is only in Abuja. And now they have to take sample to Abuja, and it will take 10 days before they can get result to know whether it's bacterial infection or viral infection or whatever. Wow. So you see where the fate of these people, 30 people are already down with this infection. You check Google it, you see it there. So the healthcare system, see what you read from the mouth of our politicians and the elite class are deceitful. They are not real. It is theoretical. It's not practical. Come on. When you see the Nigerian soldiers going to march, going to protest, have you ever had Nigerian retired soldiers marching, protesting that they have not been paid? That will tell you. When you hear that the ministries and ministers have no financial allocation, when you hear that Nigeria as a nation, giant of Africa, giant of the black world, we have no, as a country, any ambassador representing this country or high commissioner. Don't you know that something is wrong? Do you need a soothsayer to tell you that we're in soup? In this 21st century, a nation of 100 million people, we cannot finance our ambassadors. No one at UN, no one in UK, major countries of the world that we're supposed to have interrelationship with. We don't have ambassadors there. And we're making trillions of naira from taxation and from subsidy. And
point of correction, we have an ambassador there. He just went there. How can you say that? Tinubu is the ambassador to France and the UK. He's always doing his job. I think people misunderstand him. That is his job. That's why he's going there right now. I don't know why we misunderstand. You think he needs to appoint any other person? He reports directly to them. This is what is going on. He's gone there now for 10 days again. And then he comes back home again to come and work for us again. That's what he's a very hard-working man. This is what is going on. What am I going to do? This is Nigeria now. Nigeria is a country, one of the few countries where their leaders just keep traveling overseas and they don't say anything. As if they wish him well, let him travel and never to return. All right. So let me, Mask, are you there? So if you are free.
Yes, I'm here, forefathers. Everybody has a boss.
I see. Yeah. you're welcome. It's true. But, we all have our boss.
What you should know also, we're Africans. We are very respectful.
Mask, I greet you.
Righteous man. I was smiling. You know, I said, okay, we Nigerians have taken over the show from the diasporans.
Oh, look at that. It's true, you know. Nigerians, and you guys say nothing is working. The internet is working, oh.
we have pushed aside the noise-making diasporans. Where are they now? Where are
they? Look at them. They've all run away. They've got into hiding. They know they'll be called out now.
Hiding. You know?
It's quite interesting, you know. Two of you are actually on the ground in Nigeria. You're welcome. You know, all these fake Nigerians. That's really good. That's really good. So, what do you make of the events of the week now? From the president going overseas, Abdike Dabere, Elon Musk becoming a trillionaire, and El-Rufai kind of being targeted now. Say he paid money to bandits. So, what do you make of it?
Too many things to talk about. Let me see, which one will I pick now? Okay, let me start with the president going to France.
Yeah, he's gonna go to UK and France. It's always two of them.
My take is, look, certainly the guy is not very well, and I'm not surprised. Myself, I'm far away from being at Tinubu's age. But I know that once you are there, once you are in their the range they are now, it's only logical that every now and then there's one major issue that you have to go and deal with. Okay. Part of the problem is I think we ourselves are to blame. Because if the president says he's sick and he's going to go for treatment, we are not going to be very sympathetic. A lot of people will make, so we don't even give our I don't know, it's neither here nor there. So I feel I'm confident that this man is not very well, and like I said, it's not a big deal for me. It's not too complicated to see. When you're probably 70, 80, what do we expect in this time and age? You know, so
I guess it's the going overseas part is where it's not the illness part. The illness part.
No. We don't have hospitals here. Look, I've taken my wife outside this country for treatment, and it's not that there is no. She had a brain tumor. The issue is that there are surgeons here, okay. But the reality is that when you put everything together, it's wiser if you can afford it.
Then
to take her out of the country.
You are a little bit different because you are a civilian and you don't hold high office that has the power to reshape the country. This man has the power to build an ultra-world-class hospital in Nigeria, in Abuja.
Yes.
He has all the power.
See, look, I know where you're going for fathers. I totally agree with you. You remember that day when we have that discussion, I was in support of you. I believe that it's just the normal issue with us. We don't do anything good for us. We look for excuses. We can do a medical city in Nigeria. Security will be there, water will be there, electricity will be there, everything will be there. It's a city, for God's sake. Even the good schools will be there. Okay? We would do houses that are fit for foreign doctors to come and stay. So it's not that the country is bad. That I will not take as an excuse. Yes, the country is bad, but you can isolate a place and do something good. So I totally agree with you. But, you know, my take with Nigeria, it's the whole system. It's if you start complaining about why our football team is not doing well, okay, I will point to why legislature is not doing well, why judiciary is not doing well, why health system is not doing well, why school system is not doing well, why the police, why the military. You can go across board. It's a systemic problem. So actually, that's my take on the. I don't expect too many. I don't look. See, I tell people if I become the president today, I will do a lot, but I know that I will be handicapped. You know why? Because all the institutions have collapsed.
Yeah, but if you have $2 billion, are you not going to build that world-class city you're talking about? If you have $2 billion, won't you build it?
But as I'm building that city, if I fall sick, even if I'm the president, look, if you guys say I'm not going to fly, I'm going to resign from the presidency.
Then you resign now. You can't go and
look. See, look, this is not a discourse. I totally agree with you. We should build a medical city. I think it's important, and I think we can do it.
Yeah.
Most of the places you go, actually, you go to medical cities. Well, it may not be a standalone city, but you see 10, 20 hospitals all in the same vicinity.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
if Dangote can build a $20 billion refinery, I don't see why a president cannot build an ultra-world-class hospital that can treat him. Why? Even when he came into office, he had the power to do it from when he came into office. By now, he probably wouldn't. You plan for it for 10 years. The doctors are going to work there. All of them, you've already set their funds aside. You will have it. And Nigerian politicians don't need to be going overseas for treatment because it's a security risk. We all know this. Like you now, if you say because you're a president and you're building and you fall ill and you want to go overseas, then you better pick the country that you're going to properly, and you have to have the necessary security to ensure that you are not being meddled with.
This security thing, you see, again, forefathers. Okay, so let's rewind back. Okay. Are you suggesting that the people who are gonna have security issues, you think they wait until you come to their hospital? They know the person, the likely people who are going to be the major contestants in 2027. In fact, in 2031 elections, they have their eyes on these people. They haven't yet become presidents. They're not going to wait for you until you come to your hospital. At least that I know. At my level, I know how complicated the world is. Those who want to move forward.
I get where you're coming from, though, but think about it from this point of view. What if, let's say they know you, they've already tapped you up, but what if you wanted to do the right thing, but this infrastructure is not in place, like you were saying?
Then this is look, this discussion should be called iffy, because we know that this. No, seriously, because we know the president. We know the policies that are being implemented. Somebody like me, I can tell you that these are textbook IMF World Bank policies.
Okay. So to start, see, my point is that
the same president wanted to invade Niger Republic. So let's not have this discussion.
No, I agree with you on all those ones. You have to see where I'm coming from. It's
it's you that have to look at where you're going. Forefathers.
I already know where I'm going. That's what I'm trying to do. Where I'm going is that, hear me out.
Is that if this, and I'm telling you, don't use if in this presidency, because
okay, let me not use if now. You see, when people start telling you words not to use, then you start having problems. See, the point is that if you have a situation whereby a president is in office and you don't give him the necessary tools to be independent of people, just because some are not there, you said it yourself. There is no hospital on the ground. Even if I'm building and I fall ill, I'll go overseas. But the next person comes in and finds the hospital there. At least they have one more thing to say, okay, they don't have to be going overseas anymore now. You see what I mean? The more infrastructure you put in place, the less control people have over them.
Look, we are just repeating ourselves. I agree with you. That is what we should do. Now, the question is, are we going to do it? My take is no. If you ask me why, I would say one reason is because these are people who are not at that level, sincerely. They are only worried about holding their position.
That is a problem now. If they keep worrying about holding their position alone, personally, the way I look at it is that you have to incrementally start making changes. If you have a weakness, start closing the gap slowly. If you don't have to be a genius to close everything overnight, but do the ones you can, so that the next person that comes has less this burden.
You're saying forefather is fantastic, but I think the analogy I will use, you're asking the man who is still sleeping to bath, because look, it's good to bath. You bath only when you wake up. This country is still, I've said it before, this country is in an inertia. This country is asleep. All of us. Forget about the noise we make. It's like, you know, when you're sleeping, you're snoring. It's nothing. You're just snoring. You snore, you change position. You continue snoring. People will see you move, but there's really nothing. You are in a slumber.
If you had to wake it up, do you have any way of waking it up then?
Yeah. Like I said, I've said it also severally. One of the things I believe we should do is that these discussions we're having, we need to begin to fine-tune low-hanging fruit. I remember this lady, Black Beauty. There was a time she came. If we're really going to come out of this thing, there has to be a plan. And that plan has to be like a 50-year plan. And that plan should probably not even be written in English.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? There are these long distance things. To come out of this thing, we have to run a marathon. But I also have said, the beauty about the kind of system we find ourselves in is that there are bus stops. Every 4 years, there's a bus stop. The sad thing about us Nigerians, which is a confirmation that we're all sleeping, all the noise is nothing but snoring, is the fact that we complained about rigging in 2023, right?
Yeah.
What is the significant thing that anybody has done, whether on this platform, anywhere else, that you've seen action taken? If I even a statement to say that, okay, this is what we should do so that this rigging in 2027 should not happen. What?
There has been almost zero action. A lot of words have been said. I've never seen one real action that
I have
is putting
said, and I'm
instruments in place.
convinced that it's possible if all the people, only this platform, only this Dr. Damage's platform, we can build a robust system where, in fact, a channel that day on election day, where all the booths in this country, we could actually create links where you can upload everything online.
Yeah, it's not impossible.
Look, so this is YouTube. So it's not like somebody here will tell you something is down. Anytime they can switch off internet. But if you have the pictures in your phone and you upload it to YouTube, anytime they put back internet, this thing will come up. These are some of the things that, if you ask me, you may not put your candidate in 2027, but you begin to close the loopholes. Because look, everybody has brain. That's the truth. The politicians, it's not their leg they are using, it's their brain they are using to rig. Those that are, of us that are not happy, we should also use our brain to look. The mere fact that if you're chasing somebody, you're going to put him at a defensive. You get the point I'm making? Today is a field day, a free day for everybody here. You know, the second thing is we need to also have what I call a national institutional framework.
Okay.
Somebody
How
has
is
to
that supposed to
understand.
work?
Okay, so like your police is very important as an institution. How do we go about fixing the police? It's not about looking up to government. As citizens, what do we need to do? Can somebody support the police with some sort of what do I call this? The word I can use is mystery shopper. Where okay, you are not punishing people. For instance, let me give you another example. Some policeman, after driving around collecting bribe, I think about 2 weeks ago, they sat somewhere in their pickup and were counting the money of the bribe. Somebody from upstairs videotaped this thing. Do you know these police were arrested? These are the things that we as civilians, we as citizens, we can begin to do. The truth is that we all give up easily. The small fights we should fight now, we should fight it. And the long run 150-year plan that should not be in English, we should also do it.
Yeah. I definitely agree with.
For me, the idea that I will sit here now, yes, it's good to complain about Tinubu that he has gone out, but I think, look, honestly speaking, I don't expect nothing good. Okay, so let me not, because it's not good for me to talk like this. Okay. But what do you expect? That is what I would say. Honestly.
What do we expect?
Yes, if the man is, you elect somebody who is 70, 80, you don't have hospitals. What do you expect, sincerely speaking?
What we should expect is being in office.
Honestly, look, I know a lot of these people, they don't stay like that. Everybody goes for a medical checkup every now and then. 3 months, 6 months.
Yeah, I hear what you are saying though, but my approach to such occurrences is to look at ways to stop it. Because if you see something going wrong, you have to be looking at ways to stop it as soon as possible, because these things are not things that we can just say, oh yeah, because it's happening, let's just find other ways to solve it. But no, every time you see it, you have to criticize it so that people know that is negative thing.
We are going around in circles. This thing you're
saying,
I totally agree. And the fact that we are talking about it, look, I believe somehow, Dangote didn't just, it's not God that spoke to Dangote and said, build refinery.
Yeah.
It's from that kind of discussion, the man will say, I think it's a good idea. Let me do this thing. Of course, it will take time. The fact of the matter, this thing we're talking, maybe somebody somewhere is thinking about doing it.
I know I would.
This medical city.
I know I would. And all the
No, you
African
will not,
leaders.
forefathers.
Can
People
you
like
stop
you
it?
that ran away will not do anything.
Can you
You
stop
guys
it?
came up on the
How do you
country.
know I ran away?
You ran
See,
away.
I will build it. The way I will build it, I will make sure that all African leaders start coming there for treatment. And that will give us the leverage that other people are getting over us. All this time, when we see, Nigeria should be doing things so that we become relevant. We are irrelevant on the continent because the foreigners can just come and access everybody.
All this thing now, Nigeria is asleep. Nigeria, all the noise you're hearing is just snore. You think it's just snore.
I hear you on that one. I think asleep is something you can describe Nigeria as being, really, because if you look at everything that we do, it's not very conscious. But let me play this video because it's interesting. While we are talking about things not happening in Nigeria, there are people doing some work, and I feel like that there are two sides to Nigeria. You see the spark there, and nobody seems to want to light it up. But let me just play this. This is a Western News France, and this is Nigerians doing this.
It has nails, wrinkles, and fingerprints, but this is not actually a human hand. This is the Obobong hyper-realistic bionic arm. Businesswoman Gift Uzun is the first to try it out.
When we are launching it, will be my greatest happiness ever. I feel so good, like I'm happy. Finally, I'll have like 2 hands.
This innovative technology detects signals that the brain sends to different muscles in the hand. The laboratory was initially founded by the Amanam brothers, who were looking to solve a very personal problem.
Obobong was born out of the quest to solve an individual need from my younger brother, Obobong, who lost his arm or his fingers to an accident some years ago. So Obobong decided to invent this idea called the Obobong Bionics to add functionality to our already made hyper-realistic prostheses.
The product is after years of research in the final stages of development. The hand is now strong enough to carry handbags or grip onto the wrist of its designer.
I know how it feels like to lose a body part, and no matter how small it is, it's very painful, and I feel so fulfilled. I feel so fulfilled, and it gives me joy to see I can put a smile on someone else's face.
The Amanam brothers' fusion of technology, cultural identity, and artistry marks a new chapter in prosthetic development. They hope to make their artificial limbs affordable worldwide. They have...
Hi. He literally made that leg look like the leg has got bruises. What is that all about? The signature trait of Nigerian legs. Where they've kicked stones at did you see that? What is this there? Why did he put, like, let me just show that again. That is very interesting. He literally, look at the detail there. He put that detail there, like, you know, the typical Nigerian leg. That is quite astonishing, the detail that he went through, that he went into to just get that done. I have to give him credit for that. But this is what I'm talking about. There are sparks that you see there in Nigeria that are not being lit. The young people in Nigeria, they are not like the older people say. Many of them are working online. I know that for sure because I work with them. They are not as desperate as people are thinking, because to them, if they can work for $200 overseas, that is more than enough money. Some of them, their parents don't make that much money even a month. So that's what is going on. Let me just ask Okwegolo so Okwegolo, what is going on with this week now? You saw the headlines from Elon Musk, El-Rufai, Tinubu in Europe, and Abike Dabere. What do you make of them?
Elon Musk being
en route to become the first trillionaire within the next 10 years, I think to me is the second biggest headline. The biggest headline is the dinner Trump had with what Adam Smith called Masters of Mankind. Those who are in charge of how the world works, pretty much factors of means of production. So the dinner was he assembled all the Silicon Valley guys, which pretty much are in charge of the world that we're living today in terms of the technology that is powering the world today and for the next 100 years. So bringing them together in one room, that's I think that would be something that we're all going to be referring to for the next 80 to 100 years if we are now the way things are going. So even the progressive leg that you show, the advanced section of it is what those young men that Trump assemble actually represent in terms of transhumanism and what Elon Musk is doing with in his Neuralink and all that. So that's the world that we're living today. That's the future. I mean, I think there was a league of a mic between the other group that assembled in China. They are leaking by talking about how they are post-mortem, how they will live up to 150, 120 years. That there's a possibility of that. The research is going on. I don't know if you saw that. Between
I did. Ovie, I have to say you're beginning to impress me because it looks like you are doing your due diligence to follow the actual trends going on around the world. Look how you're talking about transhumanism and cutting edge this in AI. Okay.
That's the conversation that we are having within us. It's not up to par. So you just have to, once you speak like that, say this guy that conspiracy theorist. Just because you never hear them before, doesn't mean nothing. So but I get what you are saying. When the conversation warrants, that kind of thing we go talk. Just like when Mascot and his brother, the rich Nigerians, they say that they can't brag. Instead of make you use that small money to mobilize your street people, find where to look for solution. Now can't use them online. Can't they use them buy internet data? The followers they make noise. Masca, the money where they buy data, you and I, but don't join force, mobilize people for streets. You are looking for solution.
You see, when white people think we are still living on trees, I don't get angry because even my black brother now is thinking that in Nigeria, internet is still an issue.
So. But yeah, so that's where the world is right now, and to every other thing, the Bola Tinubu going to. I don't know. I seriously don't understand why people are finding it. Is it that people are hungry? Bola Tinubu they travel. I don't get it.
Is the fact that he goes overseas quite frequently and for healthcare too. That is
so don't we know the reason? I don't know. Those are the people that invested more in Nigeria. So you always is going there to give audit. The money you invested, this is it. That's normal. If somebody invest money, if I give you money to do business, if I say I want you for America, you go come. You have no choice. So the trip should be well placed, should be well analyzed. All this one with the invest it. No. It's going there for a reason to which all of us know and understand well.
We don't know actually. What is your own reasoning of why it's going there? Is it because they are our biggest investors?
All these billionaires being invested in this country, now your money.
Why do we need those billions?
That's the point. It's not about you are asking why do we need it. We don't already collect them. So he's acting on what he has collected. So the question you are asking now for tomorrow.
Okay, let's say okay.
That should be the argument. Why are we?
Well, he can be going to other places to generate wealth for Nigeria. Why is it only these two countries?
Nigeria people get money to invest more now. Me and you all agree how the economy of Nigeria works. Now those people they invest there, but it's everywhere. Let's be frank.
They are not the only ones that have money in the world.
But to Nigeria, you are not getting my point. I say people who invested in Nigeria. I'm not those who get money.
Yeah, but they've already invested. You need to go and get more. Not going to the ones that have already invested.
But that now me and you to speculate. But the fact that there's money, there's foreign money in our system. What do you expect? I cannot give you $1 billion.
But you saying that it's just in investment is the reason why he goes there. It's pretending as if you don't know the other motives of the reason why he goes there. He's basically going there because these are the people that are controlling the Nigerian politics.
What are you saying?
Okay. So it has nothing to do with, it's not necessarily based on just finance. Because if it was finance, China has more than both of them put together.
You are not getting the point. It's not about how much you have, but what skin you have in the game. How much you get for the system.
Yeah, but you're gonna get, see, my point is that you can, if you, that's your argument, you can do it so that China has more skin in the game. Because China has more money to spend.
Hold on. Tinubu, they go everywhere. Why are you
No,
talking as
not everywhere. Not everywhere.
Yeah, but Tinubu was not in China.
Very briefly.
Does it? So that's it. To Nigeria, me and you.
Very briefly.
To Nigeria, the fact that we are agreed that there's money coming from outside, we should not be hungry if the man is traveling outside.
Actually, we should be if he's going outside. We all know this is not about this. Ovie, I don't know why you are saying this. Other countries, they don't travel like that. They have people investing in their country.
Yeah, I know. See, my problem with you,
why do you keep saying your own president is different from other countries?
Hold on, Tunanja. I they tell you what did they happen? You collected money.
The same other countries collect money too. You don't see their leader traveling like that.
That's not the point. The fact that you collected money. No, the fact that you collected
just because you collected the money doesn't mean that your president has to be traveling there all the time.
What are the conditions?
Just because you collected money doesn't mean your president has to be going there all the time.
What are the conditions that money was given? Do you know?
Okay, who do you know? The person that plaited your hair where his grandparents were born. What is the relevance of that question?
Again.
Stop. I don't know why Nigerians do this. When you sort of address a point, you start asking irrelevant questions.
No, what is your problem with Bola Tinubu traveling?
My problem with him traveling is the frequency that he travels and the idea that he's going there for treatment. And thirdly, the idea that he's not going to other places. In other words, we are beholden to the people that colonized us for decades and centuries now. And he is just perpetuating it.
So why are you beholden to them?
Because of people like him, and you are here acting as if we should be we should be apathetic about it.
I don't even understand. Forefathers, you are sitting in the colonizers' country.
Hold on.
I'm not the leader of Nigeria.
Sorry, Ovie.
Masker, wait first, please.
I'm not the president of Nigeria.
Listen now.
Big difference.
I not tell you saying they go collect money. That's not what I said. He has already collected it.
I'm not saying you said he was going to come and collect money.
So what is the argument?
The argument is the fact that he has to be going there constantly.
That's what I'm saying. You don't collect money. So whatever they tell you to do, it is not for me to analyze why you they do them. The fact
now consider this. Now consider this. Other countries collect money from other people too. They don't do the same thing.
To Nigeria, I don't care what other presidents do. We are here to talk about our president, why he's not in Nigeria. And I'm telling you he's not in Nigeria because he collected money on me and you. He has already collected it. I am not saying he's going to collect it.
So he collected money, so he has to be traveling, something that other people don't do.
If you collect money from my hand, I mean know the condition why I go put. That's why I'm asking you. Do you know the condition in which that money was collected? We don't know.
So that means that you shouldn't ask for it, or what? Are you supposed to try to know that, or you are supposed to excuse the behavior?
My problem now, you never disagree the reason why I say he is traveling. You never disagreed. So let's
I disagree with it too, even that too.
That the money that we have been collecting,
because it's not only about that money. You know that it's not only about that money that it was taken.
And hold on first now. You did not decide. Did you decide? Are you disagreeing that we did not collect money from them?
No, I'm not in disagreement that we didn't get money from them.
That's what I'm saying. That is the problem. See, if I give you something, that's why me and you agree on our freedom, right? If somebody give you something, you don't know why he give you. You don't know, even if it's for free.
We know why they gave it.
You know why they? So you know the reason why they give Bola Tinubu collect all those money.
It's not only Bola Tinubu they gave all our government. I know why.
Yeah, to Nigeria, we are talking about one man that has traveled. Why you keep jumping everywhere? That's the problem. We know the solution. Just earlier on, I said we Edo people, we know what our governor is travel again. We'll go and let village person. That is a solution. You might not agree with it. Maska is providing solution. This is where we should go. But all those things cannot happen until we stop fucking with outsiders.
Isn't that what why are we arguing then? I'm saying I have a problem with it.
No, you are arguing at the symptoms of our problem. Instead of going to the root is that we are collecting money. Once I collect money from you, that's over.
It's not money. alone. It's compromise.
I don't care if he has a girlfriend over there. I don't care if his family live in London. That's not my problem. I am problem. What did they use my name collect? They use my name to collect money. That's what you should be worrying about. $32.5 million has just been given from USAID. Why is nobody talking about that? Do you know the condition that money was given? We don't know. But you're angry that he traveled. I don't say why I say, okay, this is why he traveled, to which you don't disagree with. Can we stop that money to see if he's still going to be traveling?
But USAID is not alone.
I don't know why you are saying it's like you are wrestling against yourself. 1 minute you said you want the borrowing of the money to stop, but then you blame people for saying why he has to be going there at all.
Ask me a question. Why he travel? I said this is how you travel. This is why you travel. Now you they disagree. Now you they argue with yourself. You ask me a very simple question.
No, I'm saying that's not the only reason why he traveled, and
I don't know
you should know that
I
too.
can't tell you what I know. I cannot start speculating. I am telling you what.
You saying you too. What you are saying is based on speculation. You don't know whether it's because of money that he traveled.
No, $32.5 million was just given yesterday.
$32.5 million is why your president travels overseas for 10 days.
See, that's the problem. It doesn't matter if it is 1 naira he collected. The fact that
come on now, you are beginning to lose it. You are beginning to lose the argument. You can't say $32 million is why your president travels overseas.
There's no argument. You are trying to establish why Bola Tinubu travel, to which you never disagree with me. So what is the argument?
I don't disagree with you in the sense that money is involved.
I am not saying that is the only. Hold on. I'm not saying that is the only reason.
Then we are not arguing. Then, so why are you making it look like an argument? If we are,
now you be arguing. Now you say now we be the problem. Now we they say this is where the problem is. Forget about his traveling first. In order for you to stop his traveling,
you like to go. You like to do people round and round and round and round and round and round. Like they keep chasing you round and round and round. 1 minute you said you. 1 minute you. Let me say what you said. 1 minute you said he went there because of money. I said okay, it's not only money. Then you said oh yeah, you also agree that it's not only money. Then you said why are people complaining that he's going there? I said people are complaining that he's going there because it's not good for us. Then you say yes, you agree too that we should stop begging them money. Then you just keep going round and round and round. You don't want to agree with somebody and disagree at the same time. It's like you are in both positions.
Hold on first. Make you listen to yourself. With the question you asked me, why Bola Tinubu travel, I should give you a reason. That was your question, right? Now I can give you 10 reasons. I can give you 1 reason.
I don't think that was the question. No, I said, what did you make of it?
So and I follow by asking.
And whether it's a good thing.
Hold on. I follow by saying, is it because he travel or the shenanigans when they go do? I follow by asking you that. to which you give me open floor. I say, okay, let me concentrate to what is obvious to everybody out there. One of the reasons that our leaders don't have choice than to complete their commitment is because they collected money. Am I saying that is the only reason? No. But I can only attack one reason, find one reason and follow the solution. You find another reason, right? But there is a reason why in the travel. That is the most important thing. And if we don't tackle that reason, they will keep traveling.
Okay, I think we are in agreement on that, and that is where my mind is going, and I wish that that's where we're going in terms of, try to deter these things. Because if they start knowing that we the people are not happy with this, and more of them start knowing, who knows, the next president might pick up on it and say, you know what, this behavior is not good. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Because when he came into office himself, he had to redo the Aso Rock this thing. They literally announced that they are going to try to limit the times that he travels overseas so that people can be flown in, because they saw what Nigerians were saying about Buhari. So the more people say something, it might alter their behavior for the better.
Me and you and the media, where they question the government, I think we are phrasing our question wrong. The question should not be why in the travel. The question is to come, so money come from here. Why are this money coming in? That's the question we should be asking. Even though we know why the money they come, right? To alleviate whatever, but we know it is against our own interest. That is what the media and the intellectual body of Nigeria should focus on. Not how you travel today, It will always travel in as far as this agreement between them and the money outside on our behalf. The money is coming from everywhere. I just picture what we will not need to go far before we know that we agree on. That's why we went that narrow. I am not saying money is not coming from China, money is not coming from Ghana. No. But what me and you, for the sake of conversation, we can actually see and just run over it. That's why I narrow it down to that way. So the problem is not that he's traveling. The problem is the reason that is making them to travel.
I think at the core of it, for me, at the core of it is the unusual nature of it. And until we start understanding this is okay, this is where I depart from you then. Until we start understanding that this is highly unusual behavior, it's only African leaders that do this. Foreign other nations, yes, I actually searched it. Let me finish what I'm saying now. Let me finish what I'm saying. When I searched to find out how long other leaders travel overseas, it's highly irregular. You have to go back, I think 1970s or so, when a Japanese leader went to the West for them to even spend about a week in America. They don't do that. Leaders don't do that. Even the UK leader doesn't go to America that long.
Yeah, but Tunanja, why I said is no, all of our president. But Tunanja, this kind of conversation they stress me, because at the core of it, me and you agree that our economy is foreign. So if that is what we agree on, then what will they argue on again? Until we deforeignize our economy, until we have a national economy, then we will see the travel. Because again, another aspect of it is very confident. It is very his power is not challenged. That's what it means. Nobody feels challenging power. That's why he traveled the way. Because if you know where you are sitting, millions of people will take advantage of any mistake you make. You will not do that. But for him to just travel and live like that, not even travel in power, what does that tell you? They are all in agreement.
So what are you? Let me ask LV, based on what you have said, when you say that if his seat is threatened, what are you insinuating, that if the president is afraid that if he travels, then somebody will take over power from him? Is that what you are insinuating?
Isn't that how power is power? You mobilize.
Okay. Yeah, the way you have spoken, what makes me scared is that you know that Liberia, Charles Taylor was in America, and when he came to Liberia, what he brought was chaos and bloodshed in the name of that he's coming to liberate his people. You know, what you have just said, you kind of paint a picture of, you're not painting look, countries don't prosper in anarchy and in threats of toppling government. No country prospers like that. Humanity, we've stayed so long on the earth. And there's historical data to show how countries grow. You have countries.
Let's start it strong. How do you put power?
So it's not about no. The more you focus about power, the more you are talking so much about power, you will find out that when you have leaders that this ideology you have painted, countries don't actually have organic growth based on what you have said.
Hold on. Desta. You are complicating yourself. Nobody is talking about how country to go, how country not to grow. Nobody talking about. Hold on now. I am merely highlighting what is already happening. I am not telling you what will happen. So I don't understand the confrontation. I'm telling you what is happening. You are not disagreeing with me that all this I've said that is happening. That is the problem first.
Okay, what I'm saying, I'm not trying to, I'm just saying, see what I'm saying. While people are trying to postulate solutions for problems, we must be careful to postulate solutions that will lead to growth. That's why I gave you Liberia. Samuel Doe was there. Charles Taylor came and said, "Oh, we're going to revolutionize the place." What did he do? He brought mayhem, he brought chaos. But my point is this. Whatever it is, it's just like the same way people were complaining, "Oh, Goodluck is bad. They voted in Buhari, was worse. We put in Tinubu, was worse. If we are a people that continue to make things worse, make our decisions are leading to worse, we should start interrogating ourselves, really. And
I'm seriously, I don't know. I don't understand what you are saying. I don't understand what you're saying.
Okay, what I'm saying is that the direction you are going, what you are saying, doesn't seem to paint a picture of a progressive society.
What picture am I painting?
If for you to think that a leader cannot, I'm not support, just get my right. I don't support the president traveling. But you seem to paint a picture that is because there's no threat to his position now. That's why.
You didn't paint any picture. It's your mind that has created the picture. No, we are listening now. What he said.
Hold on. What trigger you is that taking power? You should ask me, what do I mean by that?
Okay, what do you mean by what do you mean by taking power?
Election is coming 2 years time. Do you think if the way Nigerian election is, when we have incumbent, if they look for every move, you go move. So you take opportunity of his absence, you mobilize. That's why they indirectly they put it to mass.
Hold on. I
am not
his absence. To take over power.
Hold on. When it is your turn, hold on, please.
Okay, no problem.
When it's your turn, you disagree because I don't understand this kind of.
I don't want you to lose your train of thought. That's all.
What we are talking about is very specific. Why Bola Tinubu travel and why they travel? I don't understand.
Because he's going to meet his political godfather.
Allow me to speak, please. I am not painting any picture or provide any solution. I am merely telling you this is what is happening. Look at it. I am not giving you any solution, telling you that. No, I don't understand why you argue with yourself. Progress. Where does those come from? What we are talking about is very simple. Why Bola Tinubu travel and why they travel? You say they provide solution and they paint picture. I'm not painting picture. I say that they give us money. After they collect money, there's an obligation that comes with it. It's as simple. That's the simplest thing I said. If I give you money, you collect them. Let me know why I give you. Even if I tell you not free. Nobody disagree with that. Is that the pen picture? What picture am I painting? Am I saying the guy will collect money again? No. Every of our ex-president, they do the same thing. You are using Liberia as an example. You see Chancellor came from America. That's everything you need to know because when the destruction they go on, what did America do? Maybe not them send them. So with all these things, when we want to make an example or picture on him, it don't even call for that progress. Talking about which progress? When I say take power, I am not saying as you know they say they go kill you. It does happen. It's not out of the game. But it is a period whereby people, those who are intention to go into the office are politicking. So if the biggest competitor, if the biggest man is not in town, what do? You go those places where if in there around, you know go feel go. Not be say you they fear because they watch you. So that is what I mean. Make Trump come up for America, go stay for other place for 3 weeks.
Ovie, are you?
Please, just when you reach your turn.
Ovie, try to be a little calm down a bit.
You don't want anybody to talk.
Let him interject a bit. Try to.
Ovie to calm down is like asking Tinubu not to travel.
I will not interject. Make it use in time. The first 100 days of American president was a foreign policy. Why? It is a strategy to see how the home base will mobilize from opposition. It's a strategy. They focus on foreign public to see how the disgruntled men on ground will form opposition against them. So that is what I mean when I say he's not scared. Say nobody will form opposition against them. They're all in sync. So use your time to make your
point.
But
that is not the point we care about. I don't care whether people are forming opposition against him. I just care about reshaping the minds of Nigerians to understand that certain traits of their leaders are problematic. They shouldn't be behaving like that.
It's not what you think, it's about what he thinks. The man who wear the shoes who is a competition arena. I don't know what he thinks.
My own job is to try to shift the thinking. Because if the people change, the leaders change. I have seen Nigerians influence their leaders. Let's not make a mistake. Nigerians have the capacity to influence them if their minds are in the right place. They will stop them. They will say, if you go... Yeah, if their minds are in the right place, they will stop their leaders. So that is, in a way, what we are doing here.
No, the word there is if. But
what do you mean if?
Word. If Nigeria make up their mind. That's the word.
Yes, but that is what a kind of media does. Media manufactures is a form of, they shape the mind, manufactures consent in certain things. So we try to change, they say, okay, this thing that is happening is not right. And if people start understanding it's not right, then maybe they will start influencing their leader not to behave like that.
Who owns the media?
We are part of the media now.
No, I say who owns the media? The media that said the narrative is owned by them. So they say the narrative that, because don't forget on our competition, the ordinary people and there is a competition, they see it like that. So their goal is to make you docile. They will invest billions, use everything to make you do. So I don't know what is going on. That is the number one goal.
Our
Because
job
if
is
we,
to thwart it.
our goal is to thwart it, right?
Exactly.
But we give up easily. Anytime they deal with us, we will relax.
We are not giving up. We are not giving up. Isn't that what we are talking about? Isn't that why I keep challenging you that you have to still go on to state that this is wrong behavior to be seen from your leaders, and this is the kind of behavior you want to see because it's highly irregular. That's why our leaders keep dying overseas.
I think, yes, even they want to see that if they are enjoying it, my brother. These leaders, they know to them they are not free. Now, what you just said, I'm not disagreeing with, but I'm saying we are approaching the solution from a very wrong place. We have to start from the basic, the step. What could be likely? Let me use that. What could likely be responsible of their journey? And I'm saying, oh, maybe not money. You are saying no, other things. So all these things are variables that are contributed to their journey. So these are the things we should attack.
Yes, one of them is also the fact that Nigerians don't like to do things within Nigeria. I've heard Jonaba come here and say he will not have his dog treated by Nigerian soldiers, Nigerian doctors. So you can see Nigerians also have this innate thing where they like to think that overseas is always better. And in some cases, yes, it is.
Yeah, but me and you are guilty of that.
Hold on, Ovi.
Are we guilty?
No, it's not.
No, I know the point you want to make, Maska. I said, yeah, the point I wanted to make was that people have one part of it is people believe that things overseas are better, and in some cases they are actually better where you can measure that okay, you have to go and get treatment for overseas if you don't have the expertise in your country. Did that take care of your objection?
No, that's not my objective. My objective is that today I don't see anybody listening to Chris Brown in Nigeria for music, for instance. Okay. I don't see people watching too much of Hollywood movies. The bulk of the people watch Nollywood. There is even Kannywood. Okay. So what my point is that
Nigerians... Sorry, which one is Kannywood, just in case?
Kanu.
Oh, look at that. Nollywood is not good enough. Okay, let's
no. You see now, you don't go off on a tangent. And
no, I didn't know there was Kannywood. I just
agree with what they are portraying. All those movie houses, those kind of Nollywood. You agree with the contents of their product?
No. Let's finish his point. Let him finish his point.
It's entertainment. I don't have to agree. The human mind is always looking for an escape from stark reality. So, in fact, if it's stark reality you present to people, that's why people, documentary is not as good as movies. The mind is looking for an escape, for entertainment. Okay? There is a lot of people who come here when they talk. This place, if it's the only people you air, this place will shut down because people will not find it interesting. People like Pansat, when they come, they are entertainers. So you don't have to agree, but entertainment is a different class. But the point I'm making, forefathers, my objection is that no, it is not true when you put a blanket statement that we Nigerians don't like Nigeria. We do. The issue is whether we like it or not. We also have issues with standard, but where you up your standard, Nigerians will like it. We are not that bad people. I would rather every time wear a house plot. Why would I wear a suit? For what?
No, I think I agree with that point. I think that's what I was trying to address, where there are cases where we don't meet the standard. Hence, our people will go overseas. But there's also the case whereby
your
some people
point
just
was that we generally don't like Nigerian things.
That's why I qualified it with that last statement. That is not necessarily that way. That's why I qualified it, because
when Nigerian thing is good, we will like it. Like
exactly.
I can't see I'm in London, but I can't go and start eating this what you people eat, that fish and chips.
I agree with you. And that isn't that the basis of why we are saying they should buy Nigeria, and that if you do Nigerian things, even the hospital one we were talking about, if you build it in Nigeria, everybody will be coming to Nigeria for treatment and all the rest. So we know that. I already agree with that point that Nigerians will buy Nigeria if we strive for excellence within the country. The problem I have with our leaders is that they are not putting that excellence within the country when they have the capacity to do so. And our people really need to understand that our leaders do have the capacity to do it.
No, but you see, again, forefather, obvious point, you can't run away from it. No matter how hard in fact, if we tie our leaders with rope, okay, if we use rope to tie them up, if the reason that is pursuing them out is stronger, they will cut that rope. Or at least they will cut the leg and leave the leg, one leg with rope, and carry the balance of the body where it is important to be. That's obvious point.
Then let them go.
Good to talk. Look, obvious point is that it's good to talk about it. But much more importantly, let's understand why are they even going? Why? Is it that he doesn't like the weather in the country? Is he going to Europe for the weather? Is that the issue? Ask yourself why.
We know it's not the issue. No, it's not the weather.
So what's the issue?
It's multifaceted from going to.
No. So beautiful. That's obvious point. That until you deal with these fundamentals, that trip will continue.
Thank you, Master.
Yeah, but the point we're coming from was to deal with the fundamentals. You need to sensitize the people to shift away from the behavior that is allowing it to keep happening. You have to change the culture. That is why we are here.
The means you want to use already bastardized, which is the media. We have to form our own media and run our
You are on a media platform. Since you thought of Pegolo, you are thought of and you are saying things that doesn't seem to add up. You are on a media platform. You are saying you need to buy the media platform. What are you talking about?
No, I didn't say. I say we need to build our own media platform. One is not enough. I am not. What are you talking about?
You have one now. You have a honorable platform.
It's not enough. The people you are competing with have hundreds and thousands of videos doing their media.
I agree with you on that. I agree with you. We need to do a lot more. I agree with you on that.
You spoke about El-Rufai.
Yes. But Madame is here and she's been waiting backstage. She was here before everyone actually, and she's been waiting backstage. Thank you for joining us, Daji. So what is the topic you want to talk about? You've been listening from the beginning. Welcome. Go ahead. You are muted.
Thank you for having me. Nigeria is my daddy land. I was born in Nigeria, to be honest with you guys. But we can do better. We want to come home. Sometime vacation, you get what I mean? And anything can happen to anybody, to be honest with you guys. Anybody can get sick. Car accident, anything can happen to anybody. Nigeria, we need a good hospital. Few. And also I was watching YouTube, to be honest with you guys. I will keep it real. I was watching YouTube. Nigerian woman was begging for money to go to the hospital. All this thing needs to stop. For real. We can do a lot better. And these are old people. They was begging they was crying. It can happen to any tribe in Nigeria. It can happen to Igbo. It can happen to Yoruba. I was anybody. These are our people. We can do a lot better. To be honest, we don't need to compete with other nations, but one or two things we need to do better. And I was watching on YouTube. I saw a Nigerian man going to South Africa, and they were kicking them out from the hospital. It's a shame. I'm Nigeria. I can deny it. I don't want to deny my root. My mother is Nigeria. My dad is Nigeria. I'm Yoruba. Yoruba. So enough. We can do a lot better. For real. It's getting to a point we all ashamed. I'm ashamed. I won't lie to you guys. We can do a lot better. We don't need to compete with nobody, but we can at least let's put one or two things. Anybody can get sick. And even people that are telling you not to do it, they come to Nigeria, they can get sick. We can do better, please. I'm not, Honestly, I don't want to come here. I don't want people to see my face, but it's time to be talking. You know, we cannot keep our mouth shut forever. Enough. For real, for real.
I appreciate that.
That's one thing I need to say, because me, I don't know. I don't know. I just can't keep my mouth shut.
We welcome
We
you here.
can
No,
do better.
don't keep it short. Don't keep it short. Don't mind
I have,
people like.
honestly, I have home in Nigeria. I want to come home.
Yeah.
I come home, I get food.
Daji, Eshe gone.
Sir?
But guess what? I am in Nigeria. Nigeria is good. No issues here.
Yeah,
I'm in Nigeria.
know.
I'm talking
know.
now from Nigeria.
We can do, all right.
No
Because
issues.
everything we see
Nice
sometimes, we just go, I don't like it, to be honest with you guys. It breaks my heart.
Nigeria was so good. Why is our leader going overseas for treatment constantly?
You.
And we
They
need
can
to do
a lot
better.
better.
I hear what she's saying.
Why
we really
are
need
you
to
in
do
the
better.
UK forefathers?
Because like I said, it's the same problem that is infecting all of us. I went there years ago. And if I had the mind that I have now, maybe I would leave.
Forefathers. It's like saying that you should stay here and create job for yourself.
No, I agree with you. Now, I'm there in Nigeria. I'm working all the time, every week. I'm talking to Nigeria. Today, I was talking to Nigeria. I'm working every day on the ground. So it's not like I abandoned Nigeria. And the reason why I left was the same stupid mentality that I had when I was young. But now you are here, your eye open. What are you going to do? You try to make amends, isn't it?
No,
that's all I can do.
Look
at that. Who says I'm not going to come back? The moment I get a chance to come back, I'll be on the ground. It's only one life we have to live now.
What is chance? Somebody collect your passport.
See, look at that. You see, you make it look like it's that simple. It's not that simple. Life, once you are entangled, it's not that simple.
Making Tinubu's life that simple.
You hear the way he's talking. I know. I met him in Nigeria. You would think I don't go to Nigeria. I met him in Nigeria. It's acting as if I don't go to Nigeria.
Yeah? Developing nation. Our job
can I please say something?
It's not supposed to be simple. Yes, go ahead.
So can I say something? Honestly, I'm a US citizen, right? I can come to Nigeria any day, anytime. And I can go to London, I can go anywhere. But I don't want to go because I'm not comfortable going. You understand? I'm comfortable about Nigeria only. I shouldn't be telling you guys.
I really appreciate our voice, actually.
We're building it. We're in the building phase.
We have to, enough. We don't need to compete with nobody. They should leave us alone. Let's build our land. You understand what I mean? Enough. Me, I'm tired. Because you guys always want us to shut up. No, I'm not shutting up no more.
Don't. I think we need people like you.
This is going to be so annoying. And whoever is stealing the money, not doing the right thing, when they come here, we will treat them like shit. Honestly, enough.
Exactly.
Enough.
That is it. That is how I felt when I saw that young lady today that was in tears, and another older one was trying to instill hatred in her. And I was like, this is the next generation of Nigerians, and this lady doesn't want this hatred. And they were trying to pile it into her.
We're not scared of nobody. Nobody. Never again. Enough with this bullshit. You see me? Exactly. I'm so, I don't want nobody to see I don't care. But they need to fix our land. Enough.
Yeah. I appreciate you.
All right, sir. Thank you. Because if you guys don't do the right thing, we're going to be talking. We're going to be calling their name. You stole this money. Everything going to be coming out. Enough. Because we all seeing everything. For real. They need to do one or two. We don't need to compete with nobody. Fix the road, fix the light. That's it. Healthcare, just little. They just abandon everything. Boom. Who does that?
Who does that?
Cannot allow that no more. For real. Enough. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I appreciate you, Daddy. You are welcome anytime here. And whenever you show up, all these people will keep quiet. That's the rule. The women are allowed to speak anytime they want. All these small members. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate your voice.
Papa is a dictator.
Don't look at that. All these rough people. Since he became a Pegolo supporter, his city has come down. He prefers people that don't go to school. He's become a rough person.
I feel marginalized.
Oh, look at that, marginalized. You are getting what? You see, today you are talking about transhumanism. Then the next thing you become rough again. What is that all about? You become rough very quickly.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
No, you are talking about transhumanism one moment, and the next thing you start talking about let them do anything the way they like. And
now they tell you say now where will they carry the conversation? If we want to elevate the conversation at that level, we go talk about them. Because that for me that's more important than all this. Because
which one be all this smoke I'm seeing around you? Are you in fire? If you are in fire, we should go and call fire brigade. What is going on with that smoke? I don't know what is going on.
Are you sure you are not on fire? Are you not?
Should we call fire brigade?
No,
what is going on?
On the more serious note, right? But Mali say they are looking for power, but they don't know the hour. Our Nigerian leaders, it's not that they don't know. They make sure we don't know how the world is change. The world is literally like changing from what we never see before. But they define who will be president. President to do what? To maintain the status quo. Right?
The world, and when you go to that point, the world is in a very, very interesting position right now. There's going to be a lot of change coming up that is almost universal. This is not about race or anything anymore. No. But that conversation, I really wish I'm still doing Philosophy Sunday. That's something we'll probably need to have, because it's not based on politics, or it's based on our future. And everything I worry about even security and everything may be rendered useless in the near future if the fears of some of the best minds in the world is anything to go by. There's a lot of things coming along the pipeline. It's scary like hell. The people that are the most scared are the ones that are earning billions of billions. They are so scared of what they are doing. That is how crazy it is.
Tunanja, how about okay? Do you disagree with this has been Mr. James' point all the time? People who are going to Chatham House, should we stop voting for them? Because it's responsible for the travel too. It's part of the traveling.
It's part of it. You stop them. You can deter them by not supporting them, or you make them know that they shouldn't be doing that. They have to be communicated with. If you communicate with the Nigerian politicians, they will respond. I believe so.
They don't know. We have to take action, but until they see maybe one of the presidential candidate leader, because that's one thing about running for president. Some people run for president just to bring one particular issue to a national audience, right?
I hear you on that.
National economy, nobody should travel, all those things. One of them will not do it, because.
And if he wins, the others will follow the same behavior.
Don't finish with that now.
Because that's the truth. The politicians, when they see an idea win, everybody will toe that line. They will start following that line. This one, everybody's throwing godfatherism right now, because godfatherism won. So at least, so if let's say somebody like Peter Obi with his civility comes and wins, as a matter of fact, Peter Obi has a duty to win right now. It's not just to win like that. He has a duty to win, because if that way of life wins, Nigerians will be far more civil with each other, with the way they do things and their discourse and their behavior. And he too is not for this foreign travel for hospital. He said it himself that if he dies now in Nigeria. That's how it's going to be. So let me bring in Dexter. He hasn't really had his own submission. Dexter, there's a lot of things that happened this week. So what do you make of it? I think this Trump one, people always talk about Elon Musk, but I think the Trump one, the one that disturbs me the most about Trump, is this green light he has given Israel to do as they please. And then he's also in cahoots in terms of trying to eliminate the Palestinians from there. That's my biggest concern with what is going on with Trump right now. But there is also the issue of, in Nigeria, El-Rufai getting picked up. There is Abike Dabere drama. So what do you make of these things, Dexter?
Thank you for that. Honestly, I really don't bother myself so much about what Trump and what they are doing. Why? There is genocide taking place in Nigeria. There is systemic cleansing of tribes in Nigeria. So I mean, they say take care of your house first for me. So I will look more into what's happening in Nigeria. If there's a speck in your eye, you don't really have the moral ground to go and start telling somebody else, oh, remove the one in your own eye. Nigeria has been experiencing systemic cleansing along the plateau, the middle belt. We've not done anything. We paper around the cracks. I really don't bother so much about it. And I'm more interested in seeing, the truth is that when you look at Nigeria, example, Abike Dabiri made, there was her tweet and what she put her, as the way she responded to a tweet. It just gives you the pulse of where we are as a people in Nigeria. Abike Dabiri is supposed to be somebody that is of high moral ground in Nigeria presently, because she came from Newsline. People used to watch her on Sunday, where she would go and tell stories of very touching stories that would move people's hearts. And from there, she joined, entered House of Rep or something. But it shows you how, despite all that, it shows how value systems have been so degraded. Forefathers, they are living in UK. Angela Rayneer, the Deputy Prime Minister, why is she resigning? Because she declared she underpaid tax for a new house she bought. And within 4 days, she has to resign and go. These people are not religious. Angela Rayneer is not religious, but the moral responsibility is there. Within 3 days, boom, she's going, leaving. She can't stay there because what she has done, she can't stay in that position. But in Nigeria, you have Abike Dabiri, who is supposed to be leader of representing Nigerians in diaspora. On several occasions, she has misrepresented that the position she's in. She has shown that she doesn't really deserve it. Because
how come she hasn't been sacked?
Because she is in the camp of this person, of Tinubu. Don't forget that position, in fact, Abike Dabiri is the only person that is holding a position from Buhari's ministry. So, Buhari had his team. Abike Dabiri is the only person that has crossed on from Buhari to Tinubu. She has been the only person to stay there. But my point is that it shows, if someone like Abike Dabiri, that people used to hold the time, people used to look at her back then in Newsline, watch Newsline on Sunday and come to listen to the touching stories. But look at where look at her moral compass. It's so low. That tells you the level of decadence that we are experiencing as a country. And until we come and start building, the truth about it is that the Nigeria that will be great is not the one we see now. It is the one that we invest in the next generation. People that are going to primary school to build the right morals, build them for the next 20 years so that they will become leaders. Because the ones that are coming out now, I can assure you, it is horrible. If you have schooled in a college in the UK or in Denmark or in Sweden, in Europe, or even in America, when you go in there, if you see the environment alone, when the child enters in there, the child wants to learn. If they are trying to, you see the way they will structure you see the learning environment. But go to Nigeria, what the people that are going to universities, except the ones going to private universities, the ones going to federal universities, go to their lecture hall, overcrowded lecture hall. You go to their accommodation, overcrowded accommodation. You go to their their restrooms, dirty, uncatered for. What do you expect to come out of that kind of society? What do you expect when you put that inside a child? Even the federal schools, if you go to the federal schools, King's College used to be, to be honest, people like El-Rufai, El-Rufai is an alumni of King's College in Nigeria, used to be one of the big schools. In fact, people used to come from abroad to school there. And then we had federal government colleges that were supposed to be beacon of excellence. They go there today. A class that is supposed to have maybe 25 children, you will be having in one class close to 80 children in one class. And one teacher is supposed to pass, what do you expect? So when it's just like a computer. It's what you pump into children, both through words and through visuals, is what they will bring out. So think of the Nigeria today. About 70% of the population of the children are going to public institutions. What is being pumped into them? Where are they learning? When they sit down to learn, where are they learning? You know, you will just realize that. And so if China, Japan, countries that developed, if you have to spend 40% of your budget on education to make it because if you don't plan for these children, let me tell you the truth. Today in the north, they are complaining that you have 20 million people out of school children. They are not educating them. When they grow up, what will they become? When you didn't empower them, you didn't give them skills, nothing. What will they become? They will become a thorn in your flesh. It is moving down everywhere. And if you give the people substandard services, what you will get is substandard products. And so that is the unfortunately, that is the Nigeria we're building. Unfortunately, you have a generation in Nigeria that got substandard service and think that it is okay. Well, after all, let us manage it. But we don't know that we are creating the time bomb that will doom the nation. Until we have, look, your president, do you know that what you give your senators and legislators is more than the budget? Okay, let me just take an example. The federal government said they want to build 6 bus park in the 6 geopolitical zone. And guess what? The cost to build 1 bus park is more than the budget for health for the whole federal hospitals. So we just look. We don't have leaders. We have thieves, crooks. I'm telling you, we really don't have leaders because we have thieves, crooks. Those are the people that are in power today. They don't really care. Those people are just, that is why they can borrow. Because let me tell you, they can borrow because they know that there is no accountability. There's no consequence. And if you don't have, let me tell you, we are all in this together, forefathers. Tomorrow, let me give you an example now. Tomorrow, if you have a leader that comes into power and say, okay, let us go and look at the records of Okowa and what was his name again? Udwagan. Hey, people from Delta will jump out. Hey, leave him alone. No. Leave him alone. Don't touch him. It's our son. Pastors will jump out. So don't persecute them. Leave them alone. If you have somebody come out and say, okay, we are going to look at the record of Shetima and the people, Ali Modu Sherif. You have people from Meduguri jump out. No, leave him alone. No. You have sheikhs come out. Oh, no, leave him alone. Imams to come and leave him alone. Don't touch him. The truth is that no country grows like that. Every country, even China, the China that you talk about, forefather, if you are caught in crime, if you are caught stealing, pilfering public funds, you will do the ultimate price. And the truth is that until we get to a society whereby we know that there is consequence for stealing, the slightest of stealing, then we are not ready to grow. Osibanjo was giving a talk recently, and I didn't know about this part too. He was talking about what transformed Europe. I think everybody should go and listen to that talk. The transformation of Europe. And he talked about how in Germany, they made the people understand that if somebody employs you to work, and during the work period, the person employs you, you are doing something personal. At that time, the person employed you to work, you are doing something personal that you are stealing. That is how work ethic in Germany was developed. That it became a moral compass. If somebody employs you to work for 8 hours, during that 8 hours, you must be doing that person's business. You will not find yourself. And that is why if you go to all these East European countries like Poland and all that, you can't be pressing your phone during work hours. You can't, because you can't be doing your personal thing because the person has paid you to work. So, but unfortunately, if you look at Africans, we don't think that way. You see an African person, he goes to work. Right there in his workplace, he's calling for 2 hours, he's talking to his mother, and we think it is normal. But that means that the structure to build a proper functioning society, we have completely missed it. Completely. On Tinubu going to France, there is an article that someone wrote. Who is Tinubu's political godfather? Shaguri. Shaguri is Tinubu's political godfather. Shaguri is based in France. Shaguri is based in France. The Shaguri that is doing the contract for the, what do you call it? Coastal Highway.
Yeah.
Yes. Shaguri was Baba Abacha's money mover. So he goes there to meet. He's probably his technical consultant. Shaguri is a very wealthy man. He used to donate money to the Democratic Party in America. So he's going, of course, we know that he's going there probably might be for medical reasons or whatever. But what is bad about it is how we have people that are, unfortunately, that is what Nigeria is. They just tell lies. We lie about everything. Government will lie. Nobody cares. Yeah, I mean, I just told you, look at the UK. Somebody declared, pay 30,000. You're supposed to pay 70,000. You pay 30,000. Within 4 days, you have resigned.
Yeah.
But look at Nigeria. A minister will lie. No consequence. Bayo Onanuga will lie. You can't do that now. In any proper country, if you give a wrong information as the president's media handler, and you give a wrong information, within hours, they are gone. Because you cannot change that image. But unfortunately, let us face the truth. Tinubu, we know that the moral compass of Tinubu is close to nothing, it's negative. So we can't expect anything. Example, if someone like Peter Obi was in power, the truth about it is that the moral ground with which Nigerians will hold him will be very high because of the way he has depicted himself. So if his handler says something that is false, because of his moral standing, he will be forced to take action. Even Jonathan had something similar. When Stella Odwa bought bulletproof vehicles, and that bulletproof vehicles that she bought, it's not like she bought it by herself. They brought, it's like you are the minister. They bring documents. Civil servants bring documents for you. Madam, this car, it is what is allocated to you, sign. And obviously, she didn't do her due diligence. She signed it. Then somebody leaked the paper out. Oh, she's buying a car that's the same thing as the commissioner of police. Jonathan was under so much pressure that he had to reshuffle his cabinet and move her away. But my friends, the governor of, former governor, Matawale, governor of Zamfara State, carted away 80 cars as he was leaving government house. He carted away 80 cars. He took the cars and said, let them go to court to fight it. And the government appointed him as a defense, Minister of State for Defense or something. Ask yourself, what moral compass is there? There's no moral. Tinubu doesn't. I mean, what Nigeria should expect is we can go to the gutters because the present president, there's no moral compass. He makes a statement today. His handlers will come and clarify. That means because the statement he made was false. What does that tell you? He goes to Brazil and tells the international court, corruption is gone in Nigeria. Corruption is gone. And your minister bought a house. Your minister bought a house in America under his wife's name, and that his wife that is a justice in the appeal court is a active member of the Democratic Party in America. Yes, it's an active member of the Democratic Party in America. You know, so I mean, you have all these kind of shenanigans happening, and the president doesn't care. And Nigeria, there's nothing, the truth, there's nothing to hold Nigerians accountable. Unfortunately, if elections don't go well, the way it is going, the truth about it, forefathers, all these things we are saying, the present handlers of Nigeria don't even care. They have showed us exactly how election. Wiki has given Tinubu the template of election for 2027. I hope you are aware. Wiki has given Tinubu, because the Rivers State election that took place, that was for local government chairman. Guess what? The person that won one local government, Obiako, he had more votes than Tinubu had in the whole state. The person that won Obiako, had more votes than Tinubu had more votes than Similaye Fubara had in the whole state. So that person in one local government out of the 23 is more and there was no beavers. There was no beavers. So what Wike has just done is that he has shown Tinubu, look, I am the man. This is how I will give you 2 million votes in Rivers State. Yes. Yes. And of course, because Tinubu wants to come back, he has to condone it. Or is it what is happening in Lagos State? Did you see what happened in Lagos State? Badebo Rosevival wanted to do
let's allow this in Ify to come in. Madam Ify hasn't been here for a long time. She hasn't raised her hand. Otherwise, I would have stopped you a long time ago. She likes to be humble and all that. I don't know why. Welcome, Madam Ify. It's been a while. What is going on with you? And I hope everything is all right. You're just taking a break from the Nigerian Wahala. But regarding the headlines, we talked about Abike Dabere, El-Rufai getting arrested. Tinubu is gone to France and Britain again. And Elon Musk is about to become a trillionaire. So which one would you like to address? Any of them?
Congratulations to Elon Musk. He can be a zillionaire. I mean, nobody cares. Elon Musk is Elon Musk. So he will continue to get richer and richer and richer until he dies. Abike Dabere's own is the one that is so disgusting to me, you know. And like you guys, previously said, everything happening in Nigeria is just because we don't care. Nobody cares. Anybody can say whatever they want to say and get away with it. So for people clamoring, again, you're not going to like what I'm going to say. For a lot of people clamoring for one Nigeria, this is it right here. This is the one Nigeria all of us are clamoring to have. If somebody who is a public servant can open his mouth, her mouth, and say this, and nobody said anything, and nobody condemned it, in a country of 200 and something million people, and everybody kept quiet, and people are not, rioting or, standing up against her. None of your politicians said anything, your presidents, your ministers, nobody. What does that tell you? Who is still talking about 2027 anyway? Who is still talking about 2027? You? Maska, hi. Maska, good evening. Maska, there will be nothing is going to come out of it. Unless Nigerians unite together. If they unite together, something. But with this, what I'm seeing now, with all these things going on, with what Soludo is doing in Anambra State, with what's his name, Hope Uzodinma, I heard when somebody said that he's not even a governor in Imo State. He is a governor in Abuja. Most of the governors, they don't even live in the state.
Is it that guy that wears white all the time with the red hat?
Yeah.
And he was in with Tinubu again when Tinubu was going overseas. And he's supposed to be Imo State governor.
Yeah, he went to say bye-bye.
Oh my God. That is Imo State governor. I thought he was like a minister.
No, when he comes back, he will come back and say, welcome, sir.
Wow.
Huh? And your state is burning down. But you have time to fly to Abuja to go and tell the president bye-bye.
Wow.
Because we continue to condone this foolishness that is happening in Nigeria. I mean, how do you expect anything good to come out of that country? Nothing good will ever come out of that. Whether we like it, I know forefathers, you're not going to like it when I say this. Nothing will ever come out of this country. You cannot expect to do the same thing over and over again. Tinubu went to Brazil and told you guys there is no more corruption, right? And like you say, Wike's wife, whose salary bought a $2 million house in Florida. All these people, they are acquiring all this wealth. What are they going to do with it? Where is Abacha today? Where is Buhari today? All this money to do what? Nobody's being held accountable. We are losing our resources. He came a few days ago and told you people about revenue. The next day, he borrowed about $1.7 billion fresh loan, right? To do what? No, to do what? If anybody, any of you here can tell me one thing we can say that Tinubu's administration has done for us as a country. Just tell me one thing, because I can't sit down and just think about anything. I came back. I went to Nigeria last year. People are crying. Things are hard. Things are difficult. And you're still inflicting pain. You're taxing people. How many people even make end up to, or even make up to maybe 100,000 a month in Nigeria, apart from people doing business? What is the minimum wage? 70,000 naira. I got off the phone with my girlfriend, and I was telling her the way the cost of things are going up here. I said, we have the inflation, but your paycheck remains the same. Imagine Nigeria, where people can barely eat. We are not even talking about healthcare anymore. Forget about healthcare. Healthcare is dead and buried. I cannot think of anything I will tell you that as a Nigerian citizen that I'm benefiting from that country. Not even one. So why do we even have government? That is the question. Dexter, why do we even have government? Masker, why do we have government? I listened to this man I love so much. What's his name? Professor, Masker, help me. God. How can I forget this man's name? No. He's an awesome man.
Ovier?
No.
Look at that.
No, forget about Ovier. He always grants interview.
Pato told me.
Not Pato told me.
I think I've seen that man.
Yusuf, yeah. I love that man. I listen to him all the time. I can sit down and listen to him, listen to his interview over and over again. The only thing I don't like about him is that he always focuses on the Northerners. I'm like,
Nigerians need to really stop that.
Everything. I'm glad you're here, Masker. Every little thing.
You are not fair to him.
No, that I'm not fair to him. How am I not fair?
You need to listen to him talk about health insurance in Nigeria.
Did you hear what I said? That I can listen to
yeah,
him.
he focused more on Northerners. That's what you
No.
said.
What I'm saying is that sometimes when he talk about this hunger, he always make it look as if he's only in the Northern. Hunger is everywhere in Nigeria. Every part of the country.
If sorry, I'm pushing you, but you
Professor Yusuf and Masker and PDP guy, they all article.
And all these Akbekolo people. What are we going to do with these Akbekolo people? They won't let us rest. Can you just calm down?
No. Yes.
Look, it's good you like him. I personally don't like him that much.
Okay.
And my reason is very simple. There are two factual reasons. Okay. Number one, look, you were part of the government. It's only when there are issues that you left.
Yes.
Secondly, he supported Atiku. I have
you didn't even let me finish, but go ahead.
So, but anyway, no, I'm saying I'm trying to. You like him. I don't like him that much, but I'm just saying that I'm making excuses for him because I've listened to him speak about national issues.
I agree. Listen,
and
what I'm saying.
And the second thing about speaking about hunger and problems, insecurity in the north. Okay,
insecurity is everywhere. It's even
not as bad. No, Ife, you need to come to the north. I will sleep and dream that I've been kidnapped.
Okay, let's say it's only let's say it's more in the north. But
Righteous Man is laughing at me.
No, if we're talking about Nigeria as a country, we have to talk about it, everywhere.
Master, my brother, you will not be kidnapped, I beg.
Why should it even be a problem? In a country, me and you, I lived in this country. There was a time I was working 1 a.m. shift to 1 p.m. or 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. And I'm not worried. You get in your car and keep going. But now, 6, 7 o'clock, in fact, during the day, they kidnap yourself in the broad daylight and nothing will happen. It's either you pay ransom or you don't. Even if you pay ransom, you still can be buyed. You don't know what the outcome is going to be. I was looking at somebody on YouTube, or either YouTube or Instagram. There is a town called Iseke. I think it's in Anambra State. They've deserted that town. It's like a ghost town. Nobody lives in that town now, all because of insecurity. So you can't even go back home.
Iseke is in Imo State, my sister. It's in Imo State.
Iseke is in Imo State. Good evening, Oga.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you just imagine? We can't even go home. There is no place to go. Everybody's rushing to Lagos. Lagos is overpopulated. You breathe in and somebody else breathe out. I mean, there is, nothing.
No, I agree with you. I mean, today, the news, a righteous man can confirm. I saw it on the news. 16 people were kidnapped around Benin, Edo State.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. No,
it's all over. I agree with you.
Insecurity is everywhere. Nowhere is safe. You cannot even go. You going out and coming out. It's not because of anything, but you are so happy that you are not kidnapped. That is the only thing people are praying. Nobody's even praying about good health. It's just like, you go and you pray in the church so that you don't get kidnapped. Is that where we have gotten ourselves into? And nobody's saying anything. They are busy
people are saying now, Professor Yusuf is talking.
No, what I mean, the people are not talking. The people in the government, that's what I'm saying. Who are the people?
Look, honestly, see, the truth about Nigeria is that we're a very psychophantic environment. Anybody in government that will come out to talk is going to have himself to blame because he will be out of that government.
But that's what I'm saying. We're not ready. We're not ready. Let's stop talking about government. We don't have one, bottom line. We don't have one. Okay, you people are talking about the election that took place in Rivers, and we are laughing about it. Is that an election? That is not an election. You know, Wike is the governor. Wike is even third in command, if not second in command. Wike is in Rivers. Wike is in Port Harcourt. Wike is in Nigeria, all over the place.
Yeah, they have hijacked Rivers State. They've completely hijacked the state.
And nobody, don't you people have elders in Rivers State? And everybody kept quiet. The citizens of Rivers, they kept quiet. And this man is doing what he's doing in
Nigeria's lack of integrity these days is gone out of control. Like nobody wants to stand anymore.
Because we are fear of, we are afraid of,
We're afraid. We are not in this space, headspace.
Actually, there are two sides to it. One, there's fear, but I think the bigger issue is apathy. You know, when in my language, okay, let me not bore people. But the fact of the matter is that I'll still call that proverb. They say Ruandera Gamagari, like it's like a rain that is falling everywhere and it's all over. So, like, which one are you going to pick and complain? Take insecurity, for instance. They are kidnapping people all over the country. Which one are you going to take and complain about? There is impunity everywhere.
My brother,
if you go out on the road, Nigerians will follow one way.
My brother, I understand what you say. So
they are doing malpractice.
What is the essence of the government? That's what I'm saying. It's like we don't even have government.
Yes, we don't.
We don't have government.
We don't have governance. Actually, see.
No, we don't even have government, not even government.
Because you people are not even around. That's why you don't understand this. Let me give you a typical example now. I've complained about a water pipe that is broken. That people should come and fix it. Now, that water that has been running out has now spoiled the road to my estate. I'm honestly thinking that, what can I do? Should I do flyers and create a WhatsApp group so that we that live in this area should take responsibility for this water and this road? Is that bad? It's not government. It's not government. There's no governance and there's no government. That is true. People, look, I tell people, anybody you see going to what you people are saying, there is hunger in this country. Everybody in politics, everybody is hustling. These people, do you think they are they are that's their hustle place. Nigeria is just a conglomeration of hustlers.
So my question remains:
somebody who contests for governorship, people think that he's hustling. He's gone there to hustle. That's all.
So this is my question. Where do we go from here? And this is the same question
I answered for. He asked me that question. I've told him.
I think we arrived at a solution, and there was something I saw yesterday that blew my mind to an extent. Because you know how if he was saying Nigerians have to see pepper before they do something, and even I arrived at the conclusion that it's because we haven't had certain events occur to us that will mold us into a certain way we're going to be. This video I saw yesterday was by a Chinese lecturer lecturing college students. The reason why I'm going to play it is because I want to find out whether this type of lecture has ever even been given to Nigerians. Now, one of the areas he played, I'm going to play first, has to do with corruption, why people do what they do, and why they tend to win too. Let me just play that quickly.
There is no accountability. That's why we keep doing this. These idiots keep doing the same thing. There is
So
no accountability.
let's see, because this is something that we talk about every day, but we don't necessarily fully understand it.
I'm a guy with this now.
Yeah, okay, let's play that.
There's no volume. There's no volume.
That is called transgression.
Good now.
Hold on, let me do that again so you can see what he said.
To coordinate secretly and defeat all your enemies. And this strategy is called transgression. Transgression. The breaking of taboos, the breaking of social norms, the breaking of social laws. Transgression. Okay, so let's study this concept. All right, so the idea is that, the theory is that the greater you transgress, okay? This is the level of transgression. The greater your cohesion, which leads to synchronicity. Okay, that's a theory I want to propose to you. All right? So transgression, I mean, it's a very simple idea. You're breaking the rules, right? You're cheating. And therefore, everyone wants to put you in prison. Which means that the only way that you can survive is if you keep the secret among your group, right? Which forces cohesion. Does that make sense? Right? And we see this in all aspects of society, right? So the most basic form of transgression is just joking or pranking, right? So for example, you guys, 6 of you, decide, you know what, we're gonna play a joke on the school. We're going to cover all the rooms with toilet paper. It's a joke, it's a prank. But obviously, you don't wanna get caught because the school will punish you. And this joke and this prank will make you more cohesive, right? Because now you have a secret amongst yourself. And if anyone betrays you, you're all screwed, right? Does that make sense? That's the logic. The other thing that's really interesting is that when you transgress, when you break a taboo, you feel empowered. You feel liberated. And it becomes addictive. Right? You fill the school with toilet paper. You're like, that was a lot of fun. Why was it fun? Because you broke the rules. You feel I'm more powerful than my teacher. So you keep on doing more and more of this stuff, right? Then you may be like, hey, let's go to the store and steal a candy. That candy may cost $1, nothing, right? But you try it and you are terrified. You're seized by doubt. You're seized by fear. Sorry, so this is the sound that tells us that we should go on break. But again, we don't go on break in this class, okay? So I apologize. We're not taking a break. We keep on going, okay? But that's what the sound is.
Chinese loop.
Okay, so you're terrified because your mother, your teachers, everyone told you stealing is bad, right? But when you actually go and do it, how do you feel? You feel energized. You feel liberated. You feel empowered. And if your friends were with you, the friendship becomes much more unified, much more cohesive, much more synchronized. Does that make sense? And now you want to like, let's break more rules. Let's see what happens if we break more and more rules. And you keep on going because it's addictive. And ultimately, there's a transgression that is the ultimate taboo, which is what? You guys know? Yeah, right? This. Right? Can you think of a more worse transgression than this? That's why they do it. Because it feels empowering. It releases energy. They do it because they believe that when you do this, it releases divine energy. And when you actually do it, okay, guys, I'm not telling you to go do this, okay? Please do not do this, okay? And please remember, okay, this is evil. We should not be doing this. But when you actually go and do it, those who can do it, they feel as though they are now inundated, that now they are now filled with divine energy. They found the secret of the universe. They found the ultimate power in the world. Another transgression, which is not as bad, but pretty bad, is the idea of incest, right? And there are secret societies out there, guys, that do this. And you know what, guys? I hate to tell you this, okay? But they do it in public in front of everyone else because that creates both group unity, synchronicity, and it releases in their minds divine energy. They have now access to God.
Man, this is too much. I don't want to ruin Nigerians' mind. I think let me just stop it there. It's just too much. See, some of the things he talked about, he also went on to talk about, let me just see that one, because that's the one if he talks about quite a lot in terms of our behavior when things get tough. It's a bit long. I don't want to, because it's very tricky to narrow it down where he just distilled the ideas down. But the idea was what people do when they are being pushed. They become, like you said, he was talking about why they are united in their corruption, in their evil ways, because that's how they survive, and it gives them power. That's why they do it. And okay, now let me go to this one.
Your son is in danger. Feel it. He hasn't called you. You don't know about this, but in your heart, would you know it? The answer is yes, you would know it. You would feel something is wrong. You would get on the phone and try to call your son. You can't reach your son, you would call the police, okay? You don't know what's happening, but something in your heart is telling you, I need to get in touch with my son. Okay? And that's how the hive mind works. That's how synchronicity works. Let's look at another example. Let's just say that one day there's 10 of you and you're all collecting wood. And then suddenly you're attacked by 100 flesh-eating monkeys. There's a bridge that you've created, okay? It's a rope bridge. 9 get across the bridge, all right? But you're the last person, okay? And all the monkeys are about to descend on you. And you know that if the monkeys get across, your comrades are dead. So what do you do in this situation? Yeah, you cut the rope, okay? You die. You didn't think about it. You just kill yourself, because what matters is not your life. What matters is the family. What matters is the team. And we know about this because in war, what often happens is in trench warfare, the enemy will throw a grenade into the trench, right? There's not enough time to pick up that grenade and throw it away. So what soldiers do is they will jump on the grenade and absorb the explosion, thus killing himself. It happens instantaneously. No one thinks about it. You just do it because what matters is saving your comrades. And this is what happens. Okay? A synchronicity develops where it's almost as though you're able to read each other's minds.
So that is the idea. And what he explained along that list that you see there was the stages you go through to arrive at that. And this is what, and it basically involves being forced to get into that position. That's basically what he was trying to explain. It's very long. This is why I thought it was going to be better. We had this on a Philosophy Sunday where we actually examine it. This is something he's teaching to college students. Man, that is like some of the things he's teaching there is way too advanced, even for our channel. Look at it, he doesn't even say the word. That is Chinese students learning that. What kind of children are they raising in that country? So basically, it described how when people are in danger, they tend to form groups that tend to make them more united. This is why I said because we didn't fight for our freedom. And he gave an example of how people struggle. That's what bonds them together in such a strong way that they go on to do great things. They are very, very powerful when they do that. And that's what he tried to explain. And if he's saying that we need to suffer
What
more.
war did Americans fight, forefathers?
The war for independence.
What do you mean by
they fought for their independence? They just handed us independence. They fought for their independence. We didn't.
Okay.
They did. So people that do those things, they tend to form a strong bond that makes them very formidable. As a matter of fact, when he described it, and I'm not surprised. It's not surprising. It's human nature, and you see that demonstrated in wars, in places where there's conflict. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you see any bond form after the Civil War in either side?
The reason why that didn't happen was because we were fighting against ourselves. Because the people that were defeated were now part of the family. If there had been it was a foreign entity.
In fairness of the Igbo people are much together today, and I think it's because of the Civil War.
You can argue that. You can argue that too, but I'm not so sure.
No. That's a new take. So what do you mean they are more together? So before the Civil War.
Okay, so let me let me give you an example. Okay. On this channel, no Yoruba man will come and defend the Yoruba race. I've been on this channel for almost 2 years now. I dare not say I'm going to defend any Hausa man because, like, waiting concern me.
You know why?
I've not had any Yoruba man. Wait, any Yoruba man come on this channel and brag about the fact that the Yoruba people are the best race, or they are this, or they are that, or they are this, or no. But just listen to an average Igbo man coming on this channel.
You know
I
why?
use the word average. There are people like Dr. Damages who would never, his dead body would not do something like that. But take Passat, for instance, or who else now? Okay, take OD, take KJ, for instance. He's not gonna do any topic without mentioning Igbo. He cannot spend one day on this platform. I'm not mentioning Igbo.
Okay.
KJ will have an out-of-body experience if that happens.
I don't know. I was not born before the Civil War, so I can't talk.
Because you said you are more united now. That's why
No. See, okay, you see, what I mean is relatively now. Okay. I can see that I'm doing a comparative analysis between Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, and any other.
But do you know why? There's at times, not be everybody with the power, they arrogant. There's modesty and also power. If you look at what that's the secret of the Pentagon-led America, right? They downplay their capability and overblown their opponent just to get more. So you understand what power is because you have enjoyed it over and over. Not you directly, but indirectly.
No, I understand what you're saying.
No, exactly. The same time. The same thing is
but also, though, let me just add it. Also, there is a phenomenon that if you are the vanquished, generally the unity that you are supposed to gain when you have won a war, you are not going to reap that dividend as much because they will break you up. As a matter of fact, the victors, most by and large, they will look for a way to kill as much of them. That the victors will look for a way to kill the vanquished as much as possible so that they don't have that ingredient that is dangerous to them. Because if that ingredient remains there, it will be a threat to them still. Pardon?
Evil victors. I don't think Nigeria is an evil victor.
No. It's not about being evil victor. Let's say you win and the people that you defeated go and start trying to oppose you again. You will not want to leave the powerful ones that oppose you in place. You want to displace them so that the ones that are less powerful are the ones that emerge. That's what they did. The British did to us.
But look at the Bottom going.
That's what the British did to us.
Sorry, Ove. I think you should leave this topic to another day because
I see
your point, but I think it's very complex. Because if you take Germany, for instance, this thing you're saying, if you know as a victor, if you put too much pressure on the person you vanquish, you're only putting another ingredient for him to regroup.
Oh no, I understand that part. It's just that you have to break up like Nazism now. You have to break it up. Like when they defeated us too, they made sure they removed the kings, exile, and remove all the stubborn ones like Ologbasere of Ovaro, where they made sure they dealt with him properly. That fool that I thought he could. So that's what they do. They get rid of all the stubborn guys. I think in Germany it was, I think Mengele, or was it? I've forgotten the name of the henchmen of Hitler. They make sure they get them because those ones are the executioners. Those are the ones that they are stubborn. So they have to get rid of those ones and break up that dynamics.
Now, but Tunanja, what you are saying, what you are describing is interesting, right? But look at it from before and recent history of Nigeria, right? There's argument out there that says that during Obasanjo, people that will actually give Obasanjo administration or the PDP Ango administration fight in terms of give us with the people benefit of the democracy were systematically executed. The likes of Fushio William, the likes of Harry Marshall, the likes of Bola Ige. These are different breeds of Democrats who could have led an opposition, a formidable opposition party against the Obasanjo administration, but they were all eliminated during that time. Again, from the Civil War, the victors, and Nigeria are 3 points, right? The victors pretty much come in two folks. Again, there's assassination that took place between the two camps that kind of now bonded together in terms of how to share power, even though it's via quote unquote election. So the defeated one are still being, showing
they are still being penalized, like kind of, because there are consequences to these things.
Now you now see where that what Maska is trying to describe is coming from, right? So that's where it's coming from. So once you are making that why an average Igbo man is actually being upfront with who is and all that, you should understand where Yoshi is coming from. And we should say, oh, these people are being modest with power. Of course, you are in power. So again, wait till you go talk. Just like the Yorubas, right? You can insult them all you want at this point. They are up there, right? Until they're in the other way around, that they are hungry for power. So the dynamic, the analogy we are using is very, very, very present in our daily, at least at the political, level. It's still going on.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Let's bring Righteous Man. Yeah, Righteous Man is a Nigerian. He's a true Nigerian, breathing in Nigerian air. He's frozen now, you see. After he's been here being patient with us, now he's frozen. Let's leave it for now until he gets back. That video, I really wish I had time to delve into that video more.
This going too high with this conversation philosophically. Say, Ovie, you are just now making shit up. So they don't understand.
Yeah, this one flies above this stuff. When I saw that, it distilled everything into a science. There, it's quite impressive. You have to give this, and they are teaching them to their college students.
That guy,
Jesus Christ.
That guy, if you listen to his history teachings, you'll be amazed. I like the way the perspective the guy they use. The guy that you just
it's quite interesting that. When I saw it was college students, I was like, okay, it's one thing to be saying this to grown-ups. So even grown-ups, this is quite dangerous knowledge he's sharing. It's really some high-level stuff. Talking about, I can't even say the word. Some of the things he's sharing there. Yeah. It's some high-level stuff. And I think it's something that we people of this panel, the best of the best, will need to dissect on it. I really wish I had some time to. If I do, I might just bring it on. Let's just talk about it and see what we can make out of it, because it supports some of the theories that has been demonstrated in the world. Not even mine, really.
That's what I'm saying.
The Chinese, about the Japanese, South Korean, North Koreans. You can see that in their behavior because they have achieved he call it synchronicity or synchronicity. They've achieved it because of that bond. We've not achieved it. We always keep fighting each other in Nigeria, and until something unites us. That's why I keep saying until something forces us together. And these people, they will never make that mistake. They are not stupid.
What do you, if you are to just glance to the future, what do you think that would likely be if it will happen at all?
Mumu like Trump could decide that he wants to take a pot shot at Nigeria directly.
Nah, man, this guy.
If he does, that will help Nigerians unite. But he's not going to do. I don't think he's even that stupid. He might try to, but I don't think he's that stupid.
Nah, I don't think. See, that's just. I mean, it's hard to actually imagine anything that all of us will put us in that position to unite. I don't see any, because all our neighboring countries, they are not a threat. So
no, neighboring countries can't do it. They are not, except maybe like America goes in there and threatens us from there. That is the only way.
Let me tell you what we do it. A national movement. A national movement.
Is that enough to achieve synchronicity as it describes?
Hold on. A national movement that the larger majority of the Nigerian elite believe and keen. Now it is now us, the majority, against the minority among us and backed by the outsiders, which is where you are talking about Trump might come into play. Something like that. Their economy present in Nigeria had to be threatened for Trump or any other person to take that kind of action that will announce in Nigeria, okay, if we decide to follow this, we might lose everything. We want us together. So it has to be that economy, a national one. So it has to be a movement and a leader that will say, you know what, I'm ready to go too. So for me, that's one thing that I see. Other thing could be but that.
So you think like a national movement that threatens their interests, economic interests, could force them to want to intervene. Yeah, I believe so too. I believe so that could force them to want to show their hand because they feel like they're already losing.
That is when
their hand.
That's where both the North and the South and everybody, the elite, will come to, because now it is either because it will be obvious that Nigerians are ready to die. So anyone that come to play opposition party within us will be used as an example. Then just like when they take out the Congolese guy, in the 60s, right? That's pretty much about economy now. It's about how the guy want to take in charge of want to nationalize their resources. And they believe that the Russia and the Soviet Union will be better for them to lead them to that direction. But the US say no. They support their candidate, by so doing they have to assassinate that guy. But because there's still a division within the elite, there could not be a national revolt. I'm talking about the Ivory Coast, the assassination of what was his name?
Which one? Sankara?
Sankara, Thomas Sankara, right? Congo. So now
Sankara is Burkina Faso.
Even in Nigeria too, when Murtala Mohammed was assassinated, it is because there's a division among the military elite. So they could not, right? Some people are in support of let's keep going with the way of America. Some people are saying no. But that's why I say the majority of the Nigerian elite, both be private, religion, whatever institution, have to actually see that. Say, come, enough is enough. We need to move to the next level. In order for us to do that, we have to take the bull by the horn. We can't be here and people will just be directing our resources from the way they like, and we keep pretending as if, because something got to give. So, and I believe something like that will also unite the investors from outside. We unite them. They will support one of us, and that's where the thing will. So
that's where it's gonna blow.
Something like that. I think something like that.
I got. If they see they don't have a choice, they might intervene. Then they might just make a mistake, or sometimes you don't know, some random country. It could just start from a tiny country that Trump thinks that he can just exercise power over. But I just feel like these people are too careful these days. They consult everything, including their own artificial intelligence, in terms of making such decisions to know the potential blowback. So they are not. They play out every scenario.
They take care of the possible whatever obstacle before even once they imagine that this could be any obstacle, they take care of it. And I think that's why I put the Civil War too. They were able to split the nation into two, right? They heavily backed the Nigerian state against the other side. If not, imagine if there's a unity, if they could see, okay, on the long run, this is actually what this is about. But around this scenario that we just painted, an obstacle to that is the ideology beneath the real division in Nigeria. The Catholicism and the Islamic movement Anybody can deny it, but underneath it, those are the two forces. Being power from outside too.
Yeah, that too is being powered from outside, and there is also the idea of tribal issues. Also, the only thing that can unite us is something stupid, some stupid person, maybe even Ghana decide that it's going to galvanize Nigerians and goes and does something stupid that unites Nigerians against them. They are going to find that Nigeria will never look back again if we survive it, because you have to survive it. If you don't survive it, they'll break you up again. You're back to square one, maybe even worse than square one. But if you survive it, according to his theory, that some of those people become extremely strong. They are very powerful. Their conviction is because they've seen it all. What else are you going to do to them? There's nothing else. You can't threaten them. They've seen it all. There's nothing you can threaten them with anymore. It makes them exceedingly powerful. And that is the thing. And we don't have such characters in Nigeria right now. The only ones we have are the ones that are self-serving for themselves. They've not really endured what we have, what they need.
I believe in future generation. We will unite.
I don't know.
we wait this. We are gone.
Is it not fascinating though? Is it not fascinating to observe that this is one of the things I was saying, that we have not cracked the atom. We've not barely built anything. We don't. It's like, why do we expect people to respect us? What do you think is going to happen? So we are not at that level.
We don't even have 24-hour electricity.
Why would people respect us?
No. Look, you guys, when you talk like this, sometimes I don't like it.
Okay, let's hear it.
Because it's how do I explain it now? I think, okay, let me be blunt with you guys. And the good thing is both Ovia and forefathers, I've come to know you guys are not, how do I put it? You don't take offense like that. You are more mature, okay? So I think you're coming from a position of ignorance. Ignorance in the sense that, of forgetfulness. The fact of the matter is that we are Africans, okay? This generation may not have cracked the atom, but the African has brought civilization to this earth. We've done a lot of good things. When we talk like this,
we brought bow and arrow.
No, stop.
Great invention at the time.
Hold on,
I know what you said. I'm just trolling.
Seriously, look, I will refer you to a book that somebody referred to on this platform. When the white man came to Nigeria, we were doing glass. We had cloth.
What did you fight them with? What did you fight them with?
Listen, forefathers.
Master, I agree with you. The scenario we are describing, how do we get out of this humiliation? What the Chinese experienced 100 years of humiliation, because we cannot be like this forever. So we are chatting that how do we get out?
Slow down first. Let me just ask. Let me just ask. Let me just ask this question. I'm just curious. Because I see videos of these things in those days when I was growing up, where some of our people fighting with stones when Igbo came.
Oh my God! What did they worry these guys?
I'm just curious.
No,
when we throwing stones at our enemies.
When it comes
to war, get to throw stone.
Sorry, Ovie.
Let's start from there. Shut up, Nigeria.
It's not about throwing stones, forefathers. This thing, you need to see it in the right context that it is. Okay.
Leave continue with your points. Leave my forefather alone.
They defeated us not because they are better people or smarter people. In my place also, and Ovie will attest, we have a proverb, okay? When a thief wants to steal something in your house.
But if you agree that we are defeated, so why are we defeated if they thought that they are not better?
Yeah, this is what I'm explaining to him. It's a mindset thing. It's a mindset. When in your mind you are a better person, chances are that you fall mugu more often than not. The white man knew what he was looking for. He was very desperate for what he was looking for. And he's not a good man. He's not an honest man.
But,
a lot of people.
Our people not supposed to be able to detect that if they were clever
There's
enough.
no way. Look, that is one thing that is the problem with the human being. You cannot read somebody's mind. If you are a good person, chances are that you are going to believe that a lot of other people are good people also.
But you can read their actions. You can read patterns.
Mansard, I think you within your submission, you agree that we are defeated.
No, we are not. No. What is the defeat inside? Me personally, what is defeat inside? What is the defeat inside for me personally as an individual? The white man has not defeated anybody.
Okay, but is there a need for us?
Why were we colonized? Was it voluntary?
Tunanja, go back to your philosophical. That's where it's coming from, right? He's saying I get where it's coming from, but
was it voluntary colonization?
Tunanja, can you take yourself out of this?
I'm listening to your view.
I don't know. Is he saying that there is a voluntary program for colonization?
Master, we are not defeated. I agree. But is there a need for us to get out of the situation or the level that we are today now?
Yes. And the starting point for me is the reason why if you consider we were defeated or we were colonized or we were ambushed, anyhow you put it, in my mind, the missing element is that understanding that you are not the only people on earth.
Yeah, but again, listen again.
So
I think hold on first. Hold on. Let me make you understand forefather. Forefather saying that because we all agree now that we need to move to the next level, whatever that is, right? Forefather is saying that. Forefather is saying that in order a starting point is that something has to bring us to that realization. Something has to make us.
No. So hold on. So that the discussion can move fine. Let me just correct that point.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm explaining to you that this is our own. So we're trying to now. So now we are now saying what is your own point? What is your own? Since you believe that we have to move to the next level, how do we start or how do we take off? If you don't agree with what Tunanja is suggesting.
Okay, my point is this, Ovie. In terms of awareness, okay, I wouldn't use the word awareness. I think it's awakening. The whole of black race will not awaken at the same time.
Okay. Stay in Nigeria. Let's stay with Nigeria first. So that
all right. Yeah. So Nigeria is not going to awaken one night. I've said it several times. If anybody waiting for that is wasting his time. I am very conscious of. I can say I'm awakened. Okay, I believe somebody like forefathers is awake. I believe somebody like you, Ovie, is awake. The issue is the day we all decide to hold each other's hand and begin to wake other people, and we can do it.
That's what the idea is saying.
A lot of us are waiting for everybody to wake at the same time.
No, forefather is saying something we have to push us to hold hand.
Okay, so what forefather? Technically, let me. Okay, no.
It's just his own suggestion. Wait till be your own suggestion. He's not saying you should buy his idea. That is what he believes, right? That something has to push us there, right? Now, wait till if you disagree with that. So what do you propose that will make us to hold hand? We all agree we need to hold hand, but something has to bring a majority of us to hold hand. We're not talking about everybody.
We don't see. Let me just add this quickly. So you understand where I'm coming from. We don't have the stomach to do what it takes, and now I'm beginning to understand why other nations. Hold on. I'm not saying we are not capable of having it. I'm saying right now we don't have it. No. We are capable of having it, all right. We are capable of having it. I'm just saying we don't have it right now. The reason why I say that, now I'm beginning to understand why the Japanese carried out a false flag operation to force them to go into China, and why nations even are able to carry out false flag. In other words, they will kill their own people to trigger them. Do you know the kind of mind that does that? That's a diabolical mind. That's the kind of mind this man is talking about. I can't do that. I am not just wake up one morning and say, you know what, I have to kill my people to force them to wake up. I will even attack Nigerians to force them to do what they need to do. I can't do that. But those people that were galvanized like that, they will. And that's what he's saying.
You cannot be president then.
We don't have that.
You cannot be
I get your point. If you are just reiterating your point, I get it now. Ovie,
okay, good.
I get what he's saying. So let me tell you where I'm coming from. Okay? You are coming from a push factor, so to speak.
Yes.
I'm a pull factor guy. Okay? In my mind, the prosperity, the possibilities that are possible is enough to galvanize anybody. This is what pushes me. I could see clearly what can be. I mean, like, I look at Nigeria, I look at the intelligence, I look at our resources, I look at our history itself. Like,
so then what's your means of recruiting people to because you have to sell whatever you believe now to the audience if you don't believe in push. So how do you intend to pull? I'm not challenging you. I just
I get your point. I'm just look, okay, I'm just thinking through for a split second so that I will not answer you off the cuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So how do you pull people? Because you need network, you need whatever you think you need to pull people to buy into that your idea. Because
okay,
so just a first
let him think now.
No, it's okay, it's good. We are good with Ovie. Me and Ovie, I think we are.
This Rafa guy, you are good with him. Why are you good with him? I don't know why I agree with this guy. He's been very, very rough lately. Since he started supporting Dr. Megolo.
Okay, so Ovie, it is not too much of the means of recruitment. I think it will be to do with strategy of recruitment. I would rather go through a selective recruitment. People who you get their commitment, you get their intellect, you get their ability to see what you're seeing. So that you don't because some people, when you approach them, by the time you leave them, they have demoralized you. You get what I'm saying? And in the end, they don't have that capacity to see what you're seeing. And it's not just because of intellect, but it's probably because the kind of circumstances they found themselves. And I take myself for example. There's nothing special about me, but the fact that I think simply because I've read and I could see that, okay, I don't know whether I've shared it on this platform. When I was much younger, I used to think that, look, the Hausa race is the biggest race in the world. Like we were sitting on top of the world. And then suddenly you realize that, okay, there are white people. You know, so but at some point it becomes a 360. You suddenly realize that, look, God had created you with all the capacities that he has created any other person. Right. And you look around you, you see possibilities.
Okay, so, Master, I think I agree with your point. Let's bring Jide. Jide, forefather believe in push. Why Master believe in pull by actually manhunting people that believe in that and spread it. So what do you think? Where are you coming in from?
Hold on, let me arrange the people on the platform.
Yeah, nice try. I came before Jide though.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They've already started though. They don't start now. Both of you should not start.
No. I said I'm not starting. I said you should talk before me.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay.
He wants you to go ahead. Jide, let me just add this. Jide, did you see the video?
Forefathers, see, it's like you're working in my spirit. All those cheat code that I used to, man, how did you get that video? Oh my God. I need to follow that man a lot. I learned a lot from that man. Predictive history. It's my side chick education apart from the books I used to read. It's my side chick. I used to just, sometimes if I'm home, I just open it like watching movie. I just listen. That man is brilliant.
Jide, you only spend 30 minutes at home every day. So what do you do now?
What's now?
But
Don't
seriously,
harass him.
Predictive history is a very good channel. I would recommend it to Nigerians. If you want to learn how the world works, if you want to learn from a philosophical level, the story, like I can give other sources, not just that one. Michael Rossi, there are many, Proletariat TV. Like I can send it whoever wants to watch it. That man is brilliant. That video that I think I saw a little bit of it when I was driving. So like, yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. Like how the motivation, the psychology of the powerful elites, their background and everything, how they see the world, how they see how the motivation behind them needing to dominate the world for their survival. It's crazy. Like, and I honestly agree with it. Honestly, like,
no, it does make sense. And you remember, these are the kind of things you see. That this is what makes him correct. It's not necessarily because of the theory. If you ascribe it to the world, it actually makes sense. This is what I was saying, that we are lacking in our own continent. That is exactly the thing we are lacking. And when he was saying, I was like, okay, this is the point I've been making. We've not been grinded to be forced to do something that is going to change us for the better. And that is the problem. Every time we just keep arguing amongst ourselves, that's all we do now.
No,
and these people are very, very clever. They don't want, that's why you don't say that. Let me give you one example. Let me give you one last example. 15 seconds. This is why you don't see them coming with their FCC to bomb black nations. This is why you don't see that. Because if they do that, that is going to force us. That is one thing they don't want to do. But please go ahead.
But I'm saying that South Africa, they've gone through. Sorry, Jide, just so that I can debunk forefathers' theory that before you move forward, you must die.
No, I didn't say that. Yes. I never said that. Though.
The worst regime, the worst condition you can find yourself is apartheid. Go to South Africa. Go to the blacks today. Where are they?
Forefathers, did you show?
They didn't win. They didn't defeat anybody.
That's the fighting.
They didn't win. They didn't win against the Europeans. Did they win against the Europeans? They handed over power to them, like almost the way they did to our own.
You see, when I come to this channel, and I tell people that I cannot see all these our elites, all these people that we point fingers to and say, oh, if we vote for them, maybe things will come back to normal. You see, that's why I cannot be in that bandwagon, because I know that for us, not just Nigerians, just black Africans, black people in the diaspora, for us to liberate ourselves, we need to pay the ultimate price. But we cannot pay the ultimate price because we have houses, we have the best cars, want to come abroad, want to become American citizen, want to be French citizen. All those things, we cannot afford to leave it. But that is part of the sacrifice. You have to leave those things that you own to fight for the survival of your people. That we don't understand those basic things. And that is the problem. That's why
it's because we think we have a choice. Like we are not going to make the sacrifice, but we will make it one way or another. We will have to make that sacrifice. That's just life, and that is why we are doing what we do today. Please go ahead.
Maska, you're talking about. I don't understand, but look at there are many examples of this. Countries that are not part of the West that are advancing, that are doing well, they have to pay the price. I want to know of one country that didn't pay the price and they are developed today. I don't know of any. I don't know. Is it Singapore? Is it those countries? Is it Saudi Arabia and Qatar? Although, we can go on and on.
No, wait now. You guys will come here and
we find civil war.
What price did Dubai pay?
That's what I want to ask. Like, what's the price?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was why I mentioned them exactly. That was why I mentioned them.
What price did Dubai pay that they are
I know a lot of us would mention those countries like Singapore, like Qatar, like UAE, that they are exempt, that they play the game with the West and they are developed. But we need to understand that there are some countries, they have strategic what are they calling? They are strategic countries to maintain their domination.
And laughing, Jide.
No,
you
I'm
asked
not
for example, I gave you example.
Let me just interject real quick.
Those countries were involved in conflicts in the Middle East.
Let me say something real quick, Jide, to what you're saying.
You wish,
If you look at,
Father,
if
you
you look,
wish
if you,
Dubai
if you,
was
if you
involved in
look
the
at
conflict.
some,
But
No, they were. They were. Okay, let me find out.
Is it okay if I speak?
Let Colonial Master speak. I want to listen
Please.
to
Oh, I'm
So,
very
so
reluctant,
Jide,
but it's all right.
based on
Father, take yourself
based
backstage.
on what you said, right? Let me ask you something real quick. If you look at the history of the United States up to where it is today, right? Taking into account how it gained its independence, the Civil War, and everything that has happened afterwards, the corruption, and then how it re-energized itself and then changed government. How much different is that to the trajectory Nigeria is passing through? I'll answer that. Not much. Not much. We're going basically through the same circumstances. And this is if you this is if you really understand the history, or if you do know the history of the United States compared to that of Nigeria. I'm not saying just surface level. I'm talking about pre-Civil War, post-Civil War era, corruption in places like Chicago, New Orleans, the mafia, Fiorello LaGuardia, people like that. The advent of J. Edgar Hoover and all those people leading up to JFK era, Lyndon B. Johnson, down to where we are today. It's not much different. This is why I always say Nigeria is on the right track. Nigeria, I'll say about Nigeria is on the right track. Just like the United States. Do you know there was a time in the United States, voting was so blatant that they would literally stuff the ballots like it was being done in Nigeria. Less than 200 years ago, less than 150 years ago. Do you know who Edgar Allan Poe is? If you know who Edgar Allan Poe is, this is how he lost his life. We had there was a gang. I always mention them here. It's I forget the name of the gang now. What they would do back then was they would beat people over the head, ply them with alcohol, and make them vote multiple times. This was less than less than 2 centuries ago. This happened. So we are on the same trajectory. There was a time the mob controlled every facet of government in the United States. I don't think necessarily Nigeria has to go. I don't know what the price is,
Good
because I
evening,
think
Dr. Prelo.
with the Civil War, there's already been a price paid. Just 1 second. I think there's already been a price paid, but I think we don't need to pay an external price after getting our independence. What I think Nigeria will go through is, after this generation of criminals that have run the country since independence have died out, then there will be a chance for the ordinary people, just like I just mentioned, the advent of people like LaGuardia. It'll happen. It's just, but we don't have to say we have to go fight external forces before we already have gained the first thing, which is independence. Now, after that, what is the trajectory that you want to take the country? I don't think it's you have to fight.
I totally agree with you, Colonial Master.
You know what I mean? Like,
I would
I
disagree.
don't
I would
know.
disagree, and I have a lot to say about that.
No, when he
And
said,
I have to
No,
respond to
let
that.
him finish, please. Let him finish, because
Okay,
everybody will be talking at the same
Let
time.
finish. Let Colonial Master finish, and I'll respond.
No,
And
Colonel,
everyone
he
will
has
learn
already
something.
finished speaking.
Okay, so now what Colonial Master said.
Please.
Let me talk now.
Let him finish now. You are all on the same side, so he's already made the submission.
When I say I agree with him, because in the same, that is how exactly America was set up, right? If you read the book The Civil War by Bruce Salton, you will totally agree with what Colonial Master is talking about. We are on the same trajectory. It's just that we are still young, but it's the same thing that America went through. That we are going through. American economy was also dominated by the British after they get independent, by the British.
for almost 50 years before they liberate themselves up that they start producing. So I see where you are coming from, but go ahead, Jude. Let's see your disagreement.
Thank you. So there are many, so we need to stop taking things out of context when we're talking about the United States, the history of the United States. The United States as a country and Nigeria as a country, they are two different countries. They have two completely different histories. First of all, we need to understand the origins of the United States. The United States of America was built on the foundation of settler colonialism. We need to understand that Nigeria was not built on the foundation of settler colonialism. We are all indigenous to the country called Nigeria. That's number one, the number one thing we need to understand. America as it is was built based on the killing, the genocide of the indigenous people and settled by the white Europeans and their descendants. And
before I stop you, let me just touch on what makes his point. No, please. What makes that point relevant? Because that is the transgression he was talking about in that video. They transgress, it bonds them together. Go ahead.
Yes. So that's number one. Another thing we need to understand, apart from the fact that America was built on the vestiges of colonialism, was that, yes, colonial master was right. You had the British. It was a colonial entity by the British. But the type of colonialism you had with the United States was different from Nigeria, in the sense that you had the Europeans, their descendants, they became rebellious. I don't want to go into the nitty-gritty of what happened. They became rebellious against the British crown. And they decided to wage war against the British crown to have their own settler nation states. That was an abstract. They were still the elites. They were still the descendants of the British. There are two different things. Now, what is a nation? You see, before you call a country a nation, it must have, apart from genetic predisposition, it must have shared history. Now, this is very simple. We are in this country, this country called US. You have Black Americans. We have Europeans. I used to call them Europeans, white Americans, right? You have Latinos. You have Asian Americans. All these groups, they have completely different history. And it still influences their politics today. In Nigeria, you have Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, all these multiple tribes. I can beat my chest and say that we have shared history together, even though we don't want to admit it. But the fact is that we have shared history. As a group, we have shared history, even though we don't want to admit it because of our tribal affiliation and all that. But if you look at, in fact, we have more shared history with African Americans than white Europeans have with African Americans. Because the African slaves that were taken from Africa, they already built an empire and civilization that was thousands of years old with us before they were enslaved. That's number two. Number three is you need to understand that America's prosperity today was built on imperialism. So if Nigeria is on the right track, that means Nigeria need to go through that route of imperialism, where we have the Nigerian form of imperialism, where we go and conquer other African countries, destroy and cause chaos, pillage those countries, steal their resources and build wealth. So that was where I disagree with you.
I have a pushback because everything you saw.
What you did right now was just give us a historical background of the United States, which I don't think is I was thinking you were going to say more, which I don't think is the topic at hand. The history, it's about will Nigeria at some point have to basically fight these powers that you and forefathers agree on, which is what I'm waiting to hear. I haven't heard that. What is the if imperialism? Let me even push back. How old was the United States when it decided to start conquering? Well, conquering, we know they'll deny it, but going all over the world and conquering its nations around it, namely, say, like the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, which they traded money for them, even Louisiana. So bringing that up, I don't think is relevant to our argument.
So what is relevant now?
How?
No. Let me. If you don't mind, can I correct Jide? What Jide is because you actually the story you thought of America is the same thing of that of Nigeria.
No, it's not
look
the
at
same.
it. Hold
We are
on,
not
hold on, hold on.
settlers.
Hold on
We are
now,
not
hold on.
settlers. Are we
Hold on.
settlers?
You said that. Hold on. You said they are settlers. I agree. America is an invented nation, right? Because because as of today, those settlers, they are not indigenous of that place. It's the same thing with Nigeria. Nigeria is an invented nation. The difference is that, hold on. The difference that you're pointing at is that those that invented Nigeria are governing it indirectly, while those that invented America are the one in charge of the governance. Now, fam, before it takes stages before you say you have to be a colonial nation. It goes through stages.
Imperialist nation.
Good. So if I keep saying all the time that America go through 80 years of war, cyclical change in terms of what institution, which is what Trump is doing. The first one was when they fought to get their what independence, when the 13 colonies come together, right? Getting their independence. Now you say they are implants. I agree, but all of them are said different from as they came from Europe. The English, the German, whatever, which is the same thing. The Nigerians, like the Igbos, the Hausa, and everybody are different. Now,
I have a lot to say. Why are done?
I don't know what the point of all this is. No, what is the point?
The next 80 years was what colonial master was trying to debunk, that how old was America before it started buying other territory and colonial territory. It was after that first 80 years, which is accumulated to civil war, right? Another 80 years,
let's
take them
go back.
out.
Let's go back.
No, I think you have had your say. Let me just respond before Jide will be allowed to respond. Let me respond so Jide can come in too. See, the question I feel it asked was about what nation has had to fight. The fact that they had to fight the civil war to get their country, that's a uniting factor that created an elite class that has that mindset. Now, you also look at the UAE now. The UAE in 1990, maybe before they became anything like we know today, the ratio between their population and their military was 28, one soldier to 28. Now, right now, Nigeria is one soldier to about 1,000. The Ghana is one soldier to one. No, hold on. I'm not finished now. It's not fair. You can't just stop me like that. I've barely even spoken for 1 minute. I've not even finished what I'm saying. No, you don't know what I'm going to conclude at. You don't know what I'm shifting goalposts. You're just saying that. You don't know what I'm shifting goalposts.
I know where you're going to.
No, because you don't know. Okay, tell me where I'm going to, since you are the expert.
No, it's not where you're going to. It's where you started, and now you are going to a different place. Your issue is that, wait, hold on. Your position, your theory, your hypothesis, Nigeria will not develop until we go through whatever the word is, what that Chinese person is saying. My argument is that is cock and bull. Dubai do not go through anything like that, anything near that, and they are developed today. My theory is that, look, if some few people see the light, they can share that light with people and hold everybody to prosperity. Now you are coming to soldier story.
Let me finish.
I disagree with you.
Living. It's been a little bit. I didn't think that you were like this. You are beginning to be a little petty about this. See, the point is that what I wanted to say is not only about them having this ratio. There's a reason why they did. They could have chosen not to, because they were involved in almost all the conflicts. Oh my God! Can you just let me talk? Because they were involved in all the.
I cannot just let you talk.
Why?
What's the point if you just talk anyhow?
I'm about to say what you are asking for.
Okay, go ahead.
They were involved in conflicts. They were involved from Libya to Iraq to Afghanistan. They were involved in all of them.
Forefathers, in this time and age, you say something like this, and you are on tape.
Am I
having media?
No, I said they were involved.
No. What do you mean by involved? Explain involved.
They were involved militarily in those conflicts. They got involved in the conflicts.
Explain it.
Because they were allied with the West. They were working with the West to attack those countries. They were militarily involved in first world conflicts. I don't know what else to tell you. This is something that Nigerians haven't experienced. They are involved in first world conflicts. Now let me read. Let me see if I can find the years and let me pull them out.
What year? Because you can't.
So the Yom Kippur War, they didn't necessarily send troops in 1973. They didn't send to that area, but they supported the Arab War. 1990 to 1991, the Gulf War, they were involved.
Wait, Fafa, hold on. What was the Yom Kippur War?
1973.
No, I didn't say when. I know when it was. I said, what was it?
It was the war between the Arabs and the Israelis.
Okay. So what's your point with that? We're talking about nation building. That's why.
Oh my God!
No, there's no. Oh my God! Let's listen to each other. There's no. Oh my God! Arguments you are giving. That is Egypt. Egypt should be very developed.
So why I asked you why?
Let's talk. Let's listen to.
No, I was the one asking a question. Can I finish? I asked him a question. I was asking a question before Master spoke.
You think by just shouting me down is going to make the truth go away? It won't.
So why I asked you?
I'm sorry.
Why I asked you the year? Okay, because we're talking about nation building. This is why I said let's stay on track. You're talking about the fact that at least your premise and Jide's premise is that to get to where all these other countries got to, we have to go through certain situations. So if you're mentioning a Dubai that was established, at least in Arabia, over 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years ago, not before, of course, before they became the United Arab Emirates, right? But if you're saying something that happened in 1973, and then the next thing you wanted to bring up was the first Gulf War, you know, I don't think it's not making sense. You're talking about they already got developed. Things happened that led to the first. God. Things happened. Was the first Gulf War a determining factor into the United Arab Emirates as a nation today?
Okay, good. By the first Gulf War, they were already militarized compared to like any African nation. Even throughout our independence, we were never that militarized at all.
Okay, so why were they?
Why do you think they were like that?
Exactly.
Because they've already been involved in that kind of situation before now. The region too. See, can you just hold on? You just finished talking.
It's okay to have a discussion without you being tested.
Because you're not letting me get any point out, then you just jump in and keep stopping me.
Let him get his points.
The essence of it is the people, not necessarily the nations themselves. If you get those type of mindset of people from the UK right now, they show up in Nigeria, they will transform Nigeria. It doesn't matter where the nation is. If the region has created people like that can make that kind of sacrifices, you can create a new nation tomorrow, they will do it. Because it's the people that make the nations, isn't it? It's not the other way around.
So just hold on there, forefathers. Okay. If you replay your statement, okay, it's about mindset.
Yes.
What I am saying, and I think Colonial Masters is saying, and Ovie is saying, I'm not too sure about Ovie. It probably is on defense. Okay. But what we are saying is that mindset change can be push, can be pull. In my mind, honestly speaking, a country like Dubai was a pull factor. They look at their position, where God has situated them in the world. What possibly they can make out of that their position, and decided to go for it. Had a clear plan. I've read more than 4 books about Dubai. There was never any story of because they went through a difficult time. The story of Dubai is a story of one man. The father of this man that is, what do they call him?
The Sheikh.
The Sheikh. He used to wake up 5 a.m. and start going around to visit, what do they call it, projects. They had grand vision. I've read the man's book. It's all about vision. Dubai.
Why did he have that? Where do you think that vision came from? The steel. Okay. Where did he think came from?
Why?
Why do we not have it?
Okay, look. No, I like, okay, you've asked me a question, I don't have an answer. But I think
because you are not listening.
Please. I would take it as a responsibility. If I have to go and sit with the ruler of Dubai, I will do it by God's grace. But I will find out where he got. No,
He
I'm
cannot
serious.
put his spirit inside you. He can tell you, but he's not going to put the synchronicity inside you. He can't. You have to feel it.
This word that you have just stumbled upon, this synchronicity. No, I'm serious, forefathers. No, I'm
before I call it collective intelligence, I call it cohesion.
Anybody has it, if anybody has this thing you're talking about, it's Nigerians. Okay? Now I'm serious. People who will cross the desert.
No, that is not it. You still misunderstand it completely.
No, yeah, I see you that you're misunderstanding the whole concept of this synchronicity. It's not because you don't have to. How do I put it now? You don't have to. And okay, so let me do reverse engineering now. Take a country like Afghanistan. Do you know how long they've been suffering?
Yeah, a long time.
Okay, where are they now in the global map of development?
They've not been able to emerge.
Okay, so let's understand. Look, what I want us to agree, all of us have the same interest. We're trying to look where can this spark in Nigeria come from? I think we all agree on that. Well, that's what we're all looking for. Some of you are saying that.
Do you remember when Mr. James was here? He said something about how an Egyptian that opposed the Romans, and when the Romans he fought the Romans to a standstill, and then the Romans caught him and they tried to bargain for his freedom, but the people of Egypt didn't want to pay the Romans to free him, and the Romans didn't want to execute him. They said, the Romans said they didn't execute him because he killed a lot of their soldiers. They executed him because he fought for people that didn't understand what he was fighting for. The point is that you can be out of sync with your people and you will never succeed.
That's true.
A significant proportion of them have to feel what you feel.
It's okay, forefather. I will agree to that concept. Okay? Where I will disagree with you completely, okay, is to sit and then, like, it's like the word, if this is the mother of suicide you're calling for, if there's anything like that, you are now saying that we Nigerians should sit down until, in fact, we should go and look for some big disaster.
No, I'm not. See, I'm not saying that. So what I'm saying is, if there is a way, because my own political maturity or kind of exploration was that if a leader feels that they need to kill people to do anything, they've already failed. So I'm trying to find a solution. I'm trying to find a solution.
Political maturity is political.
Yes, and that's why I corrected it now.
I know I will open their eyes. Look at what's going on in Venezuela right now. Look at what's going on in Venezuela. That's what we're talking about. Now, Venezuelans will unite and pay the price. Potentially.
If they win. If they don't win,
wahala. Look at what's going on in Venezuela right now.
Okay, so I think this is, I don't understand how you guys keep conflating issues and bringing unrelated incidents into your discussion. And this is what I'm trying to understand. You and Jide's premise, again, is that Nigeria, like Maska said, is Nigeria has to go through some kind of disaster. It was exaggerating, but I guess with all intents and purposes, that's what you guys are saying. This enemy that you guys are saying Nigeria should prepare against, who are they? Because he just brought up Venezuela, meaning all the United States can invade Nigeria at any time like they invaded Venezuela.
That's a very good question, Colonial Master.
So who are these enemies that you guys,
that's a very good question. Can I answer the question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. So before I answer the question, I need to clarify. Okay, let me answer the question first, and I'll go back to what Ovie said earlier. So right now, the enemy, the external enemy do not need to do anything, because they have their proxies.
No, he asked who are they. He's not asking what they are. He asked who are they.
I just talked about the enemies, the Western powers. They are ideally supposed to be the enemies, the Western powers. But they don't need to be the enemy right now because their proxies
no.
are doing the job for them.
Jide, so if we know the proxies, we've discussed this 1,000 times on here. So if you say there are proxies, we're saying who are the enemies right now that we should be building?
The ruling and the elite class of Nigeria, they are the enemy, yes.
So no external force.
Okay,
both of them are the
Colonial
enemies.
Master, let me see.
Both
Jide,
of them are the
this,
enemies.
okay,
Both
so
of them are the
Jide,
enemies.
according to your
What about
theory
that?
and forefathers, don't you think that this
Colonial Master, both of them are
wait,
the
Jide,
enemies.
don't you think that these local politicians or local whatever it is, don't you think that they are putting Nigeria through enough disaster? Don't you think that Nigeria will have sparked by now if that theory is going to hold?
No, you know why it doesn't? Because people
Okay.
can consciously walk into slavery. People can consciously know they are going to die
All right,
and not
so-
prepare for it. No, let me finish, please.
I was going to
Because
ask
what
Jide
presses
a question.
people.
Jide, I asked you the question. Can I answer? I asked you the question. I know both of you always want to
Okay,
shut me
go
down.
ahead.
Let me answer.
We have to close though, because it looks like the
So-
next session is supposed to come ahead. So we are going to round up abruptly.
So let me just
Except
say-
Madam, if he wants to say something.
So
And this one, Madam Luke is patrolling.
If you saying
just
you've
harassing you and you go harass.
if you've just basically said the greater enemy is the insiders, the politicians. You haven't given us a reason why we should fear the West. At least not militarily. Let me finish. At least not militarily. So both of you are saying, I know forefathers had this phantom idea that we need ICBMs, even though people don't have food to eat.
What?
So don't you think if you're saying that your enemies right now, you said the greater enemy, I asked you, this is why I ask you questions. I say, you said the greater enemy are the politicians. Greater
enemy. They are the immediate enemy we have to address first.
Greater
Then we
immediate.
have to now address the external.
Jide, let's not argue. Let's not argue, please. Let me land. Greater, immediate, same thing. The internal enemies is what you're saying. Except you want to flip it and say the outsiders are the biggest threat we have. Then I'll ask you a different question and split my statement. Do you
It
insist
depends.
that?
It depends on the situation.
you-
If
let
an
me
outsider is
finish, let
attacking
me-
you, the outsider is a problem. If it's the internal one that is attacking you right now, the internal one is the major
Okay,
problem.
so right now, Mr.
But both of them are problems nonetheless.
Professor forefathers, do we have an external attacker militarily right now? No. So let me move on. So we have the politicians.
How do you know?
Is anybody dropping bombs on your village right now?
Is anybody politicians stealing your money right
dropping
now?
bombs on your village, so you don't have a military threat from outside. You have.
So you're waiting until the threat comes before you prepare.
Please, I will get there.
I know I don't have time to be arguing. We have to go backstage. We have to go backstage. Come on, I have to end the show. Stop it. No, allow me moderate because people have a show that they need to hold.
Enjoy your show. You
Okay, we can go backstage.
Down, like, come on, like you don't even know what
you don't listen. So I have to close the show. They are at the backstage. They want to come on. Are you not seeing them in the chat? What are you going on about? Gentlemen, thank you all for coming. You know, the elite group. It's a bit of a shame that we have to close abruptly. It's my fault. I didn't notice that they were coming on time, and when I speak the two shops here, time just dilates. Greetings to all the panel, the people on the chat. You know, you guys were relatively nice today, not very mean. Aladdin Key, Obi, I see you there, AB, and all of you. I really appreciate you. Sorry, I cannot mention all of your names. Let me just acknowledge the person that donated. A for real, AY has always been there supporting and welcoming Madam Ify to the show. Madam Ify, you were missed, and I hope you come and join us and contribute to some of these conversations. Somebody has to tame some of the rough people around here. All right, thank you all for joining us. We'll see you all again. Bye.